Good evening, sports fans, and thank you for joining us here on the NDB Media Network. Don't forget to follow all of our programming right there below at ndbmedia.net. I think there it is. You can check it out. Lots of guests showing up on the network over the next few days and few weeks. Once again, thank you for joining me. Of course, I'm the scorekeeper, not the scorekeeper. Well, I might be the scorekeeper, but that's who I am tonight. Thank you very much once again for joining us. Today is May 1st, 2023. This might be the last time that the professionals will be on Monday. I am looking at a possible move to Wednesday. And if we do that, it would be June 7th at the earliest that we would make that move. And it would be at 7 and it would be on June 7th. And more than likely it would be at a later time at 8 p.m. or so. So for everyone joining us, thank you. Let us know who you are and where you hail from. And thank you for joining us. As you know, on Sports Talk with the Guys, I have been talking about rosin that is used by pitchers. As a former pitcher myself, based on my age, I'm definitely a former pitcher. This is a small bag of rosin. Think baby powder. This is what pitchers use to dry off the sweat that rolls down their arms to their hands. That's all it is. That's all it's designed to do. Now, I have been using rosin since the 80s when I was fortunate enough to play on my high school baseball team. And I knew that Major League Baseball was using the same rosin for the longest time. I did not know, or let's put it this way, I didn't know when Major League Baseball made the change. For those of you that have been watching Major League Baseball over the years, there was a powdered bag that was on the mound, and it was a bag of rosin. And what pitchers would use is that. And for those that remember watching the baseball games some time ago, when the pitcher was either towing the rubber, as they call, or they were just off the mound, they would have the bag and they would use it in a gesture almost like a hacky sack. For those who remember a hacky sack, they would use it to dry them off and they were working in. It's baby powder. That's what it is. That's what it's always been. And over the last few years, when I have been strenuously, not just yelling out, but strenuously yelling out about rosin not having the substances that certain pitchers have claimed, I've basically calling them liars. It's the spider tack. So I respect David Cone, former pitcher of the Mets, Yankees, a lot of other teams, and he was on video or on Sunday Night Baseball about a week and a half ago, and he was talking about rock rosin, which is what Major League Baseball teams apparently seem to use now. Rock rosin. It's not the rosin of the 80s or even the 90s. So I have to amend my argument about, well, the rosin that the pitchers are using do not have the properties that they claim. Well, rock rosin does have the properties that they claim. And when David Cone famously repeated what Bauer did, I called Bauer a liar. Straight out called him a liar. Rosin doesn't do that. I am correct. But Bauer was using what Major League Baseball is using today, and that is rock rosin. That is significantly stickier. As I understand baseball now, if a pitcher is using rock rosin, the video that David Cone showed exactly duplicated what Bauer did on national television. And Bauer was basically telling Major League Baseball, this is what you're going after us for, and this is what's going on right now. So we don't understand what the issue is. Well, if it's already a sticky substance, which it wasn't before, then Major League Baseball itself has to shut up. How can you penalize a pitcher if the substance is already sticky enough as it is? And let me tell you something. People perspire at different rates. It just is what it is. And many pitchers on warm days will wear suntan lotion. You have to. That is sticky stuff. You know it. Anyone who's worn suntan lotion. So if you mix suntan lotion with rock rosin, it's even worse. And as David Cohn so eloquently educated us on the video, which the video is on the Sports Talk with the Guys page on Facebook, you can see what happens and you can see how it just doesn't come off, even with alcohol. As a matter of fact, alcohol with rock rosin makes it almost worse. So it's an interesting thing that is going on with Major League Baseball right now. And speaking of Major League Baseball right now, I do want to welcome the man from Ohio. And that is Almighty right there. Oh!
How you doing, scorekeeper?
I'm doing very well. Who's winning?
It's tied 2-2, bottom of the ninth.
Oh, at Cleveland?
In New York.
Oh, okay. I feel a little bit better. But okay, there you go, folks. The game's being played right now. So, Almighty, thank you for joining me right now. I'm going on an exploratory rant on rosin right now, and I was explaining some of the things about it right now. So I'm basically going to finish it up right now in that, folks, I am now trying to determine when rock rosin entered Major League Baseball, because I don't remember when it happened. I was used to seeing the powdered bag of rosin that would sit on the mound. And as Major League Baseball fans know, the view from the camera looking in, you always saw that powdered bag there. Almighty.
Oh, is the powdered one, is that the kind that when you threw it down on the ground it had a puff of smoke, or do all of them have that dust puff when you throw it down?
Well, young man, it looks like they're not using that sort of rosin anymore. But yes, yes, what you just said.
Well, I'm just trying to get a difference because I haven't heard of the rock rosin. I remember as a kid when we used that rosin and you watched the games, you do your thing in. If you throw it down on the bag, there was a puff of powder. I'm not going to say what that powder was, but there was always that powder. That was right, Raj. I think it's what the rock doesn't have that.
Right. Now, rock rosin, as I was telling the audience before you arrived, Almighty, is that rock rosin is sticky by nature. It really is sticky. And you mix that with what players do, as I was explaining on the suntan lotion. Oh man, it gets even worse. And there was a video that I posted, and now for everyone in the audience, forgive me for being repetitious now at this point, but David Cohn took a great time very quickly to explain rock rosin, and my jaw dropped when he was saying they're using rock rosin. I'm like, whoa. When the hell did this happen? I've lost track. So I have to pull back my argument, Almighty, about what baseball is using right now. What we all grew up with, and I guess you are kind of in agreement with me, right? You know what rosin is. It doesn't have the properties that they claim.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry about that. But you're right. I mean, it wasn't sticky. It made your hands dry and gave you a better grip, but there was no stickiness to it. And it would also, like, if you waited long enough, your hand would start to get more moisture on it. I mean, it wasn't a permanent. That's why they always grab the bag between pitches all the time, because they wanted to dry out, get that moisture, to have better control of that pitch, so you can hold that ball better and it doesn't slide around. Because if that ball slides, that's a difference between an excellent curveball and a ball. So, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, folks. You can use perspiration if done properly. But the point of the rosin, and thank you, Almighty. That was perfect, brother. Yes. The only thing that I would add to that is the reason why, because you can use perspiration to do stuff with the ball. I mean, come on, guys. You can. But when you're standing, you have to forgive me for a moment. I'm just going to, when you're
Don't fall over.
standing and the perspiration comes down, it messes up with your pitching. And that's the purpose of the rosin, is to keep the perspiration from coming down and, getting out of place, for lack of a better word. So
Well, what you're saying is true. You can use the perspiration, but if you don't want to use it, you want that bag handy.
yeah. Yeah. And most pitchers, believe it or not, do not want it dribbling down their arms into their palm and their hand. They can use the perspiration other ways and get in the right spot. But that's neither here nor there. We are talking about rosin. So, folks, I wanted to start out with that and just say that I want to amend my argument. If you're talking about the rosin that I grew up with, and thank you, Almighty, for the rosin that he grew up with, it doesn't have the properties that these modern players claim. But rock rosin does. So if Major League Baseball is allowing rock rosin, and which it seems to be that they are, well, by its very nature, it is sticky. And I recommend everyone go over and see the video that's on the Facebook page. So, yeah, folks, I'm not able to do the video that I wanted to do because I still physically cannot do so. But I do intend to do the video. Maybe when I'm able to and healthy enough, I can get on the plane, go meet Almighty, and we'll sweat up a storm, and we'll let the sweat do what it does, and we'll use rosin in the manner that we need it to be done, and we'll show you what we're talking about. But this rock rosin, I don't know how long it's been used in baseball, so that does change. So if Major League Baseball is allowing a sticky substance that can mix with the sunblock, there may be argument to what Scherzer was saying. He was mad. We talked about this on Saturday, that he was pissed. And I do want to welcome the big dog in joining us. I'm not sure if it was Almighty or the big dog that was sharing with us on Saturday about Scherzer and how angry he was.
That was me.
When it was you, huh, big dog?
Yes, sir.
And Scherzer is an animated character, but folks, and look, there are times when you can tell when people. It seemed like Scherzer was telling the truth. He was growing impatient throughout the game, and he was getting fed up. And when Big Dog said on Saturday, when you look at it, it was quite obvious, to me at least, that Scherzer was basically, you guys got to get your shit together. So, whoa, is Cleveland winning now?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
I just heard that they're down to their last strike. So last strike in the bottom of the ninth?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we will listen. But anyway, I thank Almighty for joining me, and I thank Big Dog for joining me. Thank you. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Are they saying hi, or do they want to jump in with something? And Big Dog, you rang the bell first. Good evening, Big Dog.
Good evening. I'm waiting for actually for my ear pods to charge up again. I guess they died on me, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it before I got in, because I got in about maybe 7 after. What rosin is made of?
I didn't get into the particulars, but Almighty did, and we can get at Big Dog if you want to go into that. Yes. Now, did you find the difference between? Sorry, did you find the difference between rosin and rock rosin?
They're essentially. I put in both. What is rosin made of and what is rock rosin made of, and they both gave me the same answer. So as of right now, I guess rock rosin and rosin are the same. I try to put in what was rosin made of in the 80s, but nothing's come up. Everything keeps coming up current. So rock rosin, or rosin that they call it now, is a solid form of resin made from pine tree sap and other plants. And I also looked up, if just to verify facts, if sorry, baby powder was ever used for rosin, and it was not. What was used for rosin before, and I guess this would be the 80s version, was magnesium carbonate. And what the hell was the other one? Magnesium carbonate powder was what it used to be made of, was one of the ingredients, along with resin.
Yeah, please, Big Dog. I hope you didn't take what we said as it was made out of baby powder. No, we said it's basically baby powder, folks.
Mm-hmm.
That is what rosin is. And when I purchased the rosin, I've been trying to show everyone that that's exactly what it is. It is basically baby powder. Is it baby? No, but everyone knows what baby powder is. So that's why I compared it to, but have no illusions. So I thank you, Big Dog. Folks, it's baby powder. I know, Big Dog just has not. It never. I know, but so that you understand, folks, that's what it is. It's powder, and this is the bag. And if you know, oh, there, see, I don't know if you saw that poof of dust. That's the powder. All it does is dry your perspiration. So again, now I'm getting repetitious and boring to the audience when I say, when Bauer did the thing famously on TV, I lost my shit. I'm saying, no. That's not what rosin does. Well, apparently they're using rock rosin now, and apparently they've been using it for a few years. So I don't know when it's begun. And that is modifying my argument. Was Bauer and Cohn's demo on Sunday Night Baseball obviously correct? Oh, yeah. I'm correct in my understanding of rosin. I didn't know they were using rock rosin. So I have to find out when they started using it. But again, if Major League Baseball is allowing a sticky substance and then they're bitching about it, well, wait a minute. If by nature it is sticky, folks, come on. The different bodies, it's going to have a different effect on. Now, the umpires in the article said that no, this is stickier than most. And that's when I got hot and I says, okay, well, then I hope they kept evidence, because they claim this is stickier than what is average? What is more than? That is an arguable argument that I, in my other persona, would have argued. So I just wanted to throw that out there and start that up. The other thing, gentlemen, is I wanted to start and talk about a few other ones. But let me see. Thanos Heisenberg, thank you. If it happened to the Astros, would you be as adamant in your opinion?
Because the Astros are cheaters. I have something for you, though.
Okay, Big Dog. But no, you seem to understand the question. I don't. But I don't understand what do you mean as adamant. I'm adamant over the whole idea of rosin, but
what
I'm not
he's
sure.
saying is you're adamant because you're saying if Major League Baseball is allowing rock rosin to be used, which is a sticky substance, and Scherzer gets a 10-day suspension or 10-game suspension because of it, he's saying if it were an Astros pitcher, would you be just as adamant about it? Because the Astros, of course, are cheaters. Or would you have taken the other pro? Oh, there you go, cheating again, is what he's asking.
I think my argument would be the same. So, sorry, Heisenberg, I didn't understand the question, but thank you. I hope it's correct. I am adamant because of the fact that obviously Major League Baseball made the change. And there's a lot more to this, folks. All I can tell you is, go ahead, Big Dog.
I was saying, just real quick, I found some information for you. So, it said, because the question was, one of the questions I just saw was, what rosin does Major League Baseball use? Franklin Sports' new Major League Baseball Greater Grip rosin bag formula has been carefully engineered to provide superior long-lasting grip during practice or competition for those who prefer a dry grip. It says our new high-tack formula absorbs moisture to keep the hands dry and confident, packaged in a durable, thick cloth bag.
So it keeps your hand confident. But I ran into kind of the same problem too. I was trying to find the history or when they started using rock rosin, but I couldn't. There was no. It was all said rosin, and I don't know if you found it, Big Dog. If there's a certain, or they just changed the name of it or changed the formula. I didn't find when that started. So
Well,
that's what I'm trying to look for too.
yeah, and it's such an
That's
arcane
what's got me
thing.
flustered.
Yeah, and look, rock rosin has been used at least since 2019. Okay. Because if you look at what players have been talking about for some time now, that's how long it's been. So very quickly, I do want to give a shout out. Thank you to Peter Gama for the like, as well as Elizabeth Olivia Cooper. Thank
It
you,
wasn't just
thank you.
a like,
We do
it was
appreciate
love.
Olivia love, Peter's is like, but thank you. That's good. So it's good. So all right. I do know that if you do look at the definition of, it did take me a while to find it though, the definition of rock rosin as opposed to the regular rosin. By definition, the rock rosin is stickier. So if baseball itself is allowing a sticky substance, and then now they're coming down on their very players as to, well, how much is sticky, and well, okay, this is what we know is sticky, but what you're doing is over and above. Come on. How can that be, and what are we going to do about it? So that's my commentary right now. We're going to find out when rock rosin started, and then we can go from there. We're still going to do our demo. I'm probably going to purchase some rock rosin to see, but again, check out David Cohn talking about that on Sunday Night Baseball. The video is on our Facebook page, so please go ahead and check it out, folks. So, all right, my co-host, what did you guys want to talk about now?
Well, Almighty was there first, so he goes first.
Oh, okay. By the way, Big Dog, I have scheduled the show for tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
That's why I was late getting here. Time got ahead of me, or whatever you want to call it. Well, since we're talking about baseball, it looks like, let's go over this. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Anyway, it looks like the salary cap in baseball has reared its ugly head once again, or at least a discussion for it. And what did I had here? That's not it. Where the fuck did
Isn't the salary cap something like $750 million or something?
It's whatever the Yankees and Mets decide it is. But here we go. But anyway, this is an article for, I didn't see it, but the article's from March 1st.
So 2 months ago, okay.
But I missed it too, so I can't. But it says here, Major League Baseball reportedly pushing to install a salary cap to close the gap between Major League Baseball's richest teams and its smaller market franchises. Now, this has been going on for decades, as most baseball fans know, and this has resulted in a couple work stoppages. According to Evan Drellich of The Athletic, Commissioner Rob Manfred has said Major League Baseball's Economic Reform Committee is focusing on television distribution and revenue disparity, but an industry source told Drellich that an underlying motivation of the committee is to address small market owners' concerns. Well, no kidding. And I guess this is Evan Drellich's quote. The whole idea is to basically come up with a system that gets to a salary cap. Rob didn't, maybe he didn't say it because Al says it's whatever. Rob didn't lie by saying it has to do with the regional sports networks dealing with the RSNs, because these teams will lose more money and the disparity will get bigger. So they're using that excuse to have a study committee, end quote. And I guess that's probably from yeah, what says Rob? Okay, yeah, it's Evan's quote. But that's a quote by Evan, and that's what from his article, I suppose. The Major League Baseball Player Association has remained steadfast in its opposition to a salary cap. I think that's mostly coming from Aaron Judge right now. Major League Baseball's Player Association Executive Director Tony Clark told reporters Saturday the players are, quote, never going to agree on a cap, unquote. Drellich noted February 19th that Major League Baseball created the committee with Bally Sports near bankruptcy. Yeah, because Bally Sports is near bankruptcy, in part to address the impact that would have on Major League Baseball games that air on RSNs, but also to explore solutions for owners who are unhappy about the differences in an amount of money teams make. While Major League Baseball have and have nots, Yankees, Mets, have long experienced financial disparity as big market teams spend huge money and small market teams scrape by. That would be Speedy's Oakland A's. It has seemingly gotten more pronounced. The New York Mets, led by billionaire owner Steve Cohen, have become the poster child for throwing money around as they lead Major League Baseball with a $336 million payroll, according to Spotrac. That puts them nearly $70 million ahead of the second place New York Yankees. Both teams are colonial privileged teams. While the Mets, Yankees, Philadelphia Phillies, San Diego Padres, Los Angeles Dodgers, Toronto Blue Jays, and the Los Angeles Angels in the outfield all have payrolls that exceed $200 million, 9 teams hold payrolls under $100 million. That includes, once again, Speedy's Oakland Athletics, the lowest spending team in Major League Baseball at just $40.9 million. Lower spending teams can hope prospects contribute at a higher level after being called up, but it's nearly impossible for them to contend with the big spenders. And I used to believe that, but I'll get into that later. A salary cap could level the playing field, but it would also cap the earning potential players, which is why the Major League Baseball Player Association has no interest in making that happen. And I'm sure that agents are not either. Major League Baseball is the only one of the 4 major North American sports leagues without a salary cap, and that would include the NFL, the MLB, NBA, and the hockey. That has allowed more players than the other leagues to earn massive contracts, including the 9-year, $360 million deal Aaron Judge. He doesn't have a grudge anymore. Aaron Judge signed to remain with the New York Yankees this offseason. Judge is one of 12 players with a contract of $300 million or more, including Angels outfielder Mike Trout, who leads Major League Baseball with a $426.5 million contract. Major League Baseball tried to push through a salary cap in 1994, and what happened then, Roger? It led to the 1994-95 Major League Baseball strike, which canceled the 1994 World Series.
Yes.
Major League Baseball would likely meet similar restraints from the players this time around, and the threat of missing games because of another strike may temper attempts to fight for a salary cap. So I missed that too, and so any thoughts, guys, on that on a salary cap? Go ahead, Big Dog.
I totally disagree because the premise of him saying that if there's a salary cap, it's going to limit the amount of earnings that a player can earn is totally false. Look at the NBA, for example. They're giving examples. What they should have said, it will limit the amount of the length of the contract. That part I'll agree with if they were to word it that way. But as far as limiting the earning potential, that is totally false. James Harden going to earn $50 million next year. All these new guys that are signing contracts last year and this year are going to sign 5-year, $260 to $275 million contracts. That is, you're going to see at least 5 to 10 of those this coming off season, guaranteed. So saying that having a salary cap is going to limit the potential of a player, that is totally false. And the same thing about having a salary cap is going to level the field. That's totally false also, because when you have teams like, and I'm going with the NBA, we have teams like Golden State Warriors, the Clippers, who have these billion-dollar owners that they don't care if they go over the salary cap. They don't care. The Warriors have the second biggest salary this year, and they're going to pay somewhere after luxury tax, they're going to pay somewhere in excess of $175 to $200 million just in luxury tax. Clippers, the same thing. So having a salary cap, the only way you do it is if you have a hard cap, which means you can't go over it no matter what. Then we might see some changes. But to have just a salary cap and say, okay, if you go over the first time, then we're going to charge you this. But if you're a repeat offender, then the charges go up. And you can tell just by looking at the salaries in the NBA, doesn't matter. You know, if you have an owner that's going to spend money, doesn't matter. And the Padres are a prime example. For whatever reason before, I didn't used to think of them that way, but they were classified that way as a small city team. And now, according to the article you were just saying, they have they're in the top 10 in salary, but they're considered a small city though. So that throws that also out the water. So I don't think a salary cap is the end all be all in solving all these problems as far as trying to level the playing field. As I said before, I think we talked about it a little bit a month or two ago. If you have a rich owner, he decides to buy the Oakland A's, or he decides to buy the Milwaukee Brewers, and he wants to pour in all the money he wants, players will come no matter what, because the money's there.
I do want to add that I know the guy did say that the salary cap may be the thing that would work, but I don't see it happening because unlike basketball has a minimum amount that the teams have to spend. And if you put a salary cap in Major League Baseball the way it would work, the way many people envision it, it still wouldn't change anything because the teams in the bottom are not spending. So it just doesn't seem to be something that would work. Look, if you have a hard salary cap, it depends what the hard salary cap is, then maybe. But look, if Major League Baseball were to do it, they would eventually win, but you would lose baseball for about 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Because the players have money to hold out. That's the thing. If baseball would have done this 20, 30 years ago when the players didn't have that much money, it would have to have been done 30, 40 years ago maybe. The players can hold out. And what will Major League Baseball do? They'll eventually bring in the players that were referred to as the scabs in 1990, the ones that would cross the union line. So I don't know what you want to do with that. I don't see it. I do not. I see Major League Baseball trying to get there. We have a de facto cap but it is not what people think it is. The NBA has Big Dog. What could you? I know you explained that the owners go over, but what is the salary cap and what is the salary floor? And if you don't, I know you don't have that at the moment. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
actually, I do have it saved. Just give me 30 seconds. Keep talking.
Yeah. So the article, which Almighty did show us on screen, he says the salary cap may no salary cap will not in its purest form. Big Dog.
Okay, so in the NBA for this season, the salary cap is 123,655,000. The luxury tax threshold, which means and even saying there's a salary cap, it is, but it isn't, because you don't start getting taxed on that till you go over 150,267,000. So you're in between that little buffer. And the way it works is when you're over the luxury tax, $0 to $5 million is $1.50 per dollar. From 5 million to 10 million over the tax line, it's $1.75 per dollar. From 10 million to 15 million, it's $2.50 per dollar. If you're 15 to 20 million over the tax line, it's $3.25 per dollar over.
Stop a moment, Big Dog.
I'm sorry?
Stop a moment. Sorry.
Sure.
Well, Dream, what the hell are you doing? Get your ass in here. I'm sending it to you right now. I'm so sorry, Big Dog. Please go ahead and continue. I interrupted you.
So from 15 to 20 million, it's $3.25 per dollar. For every additional 5 million above that tax is the rate increases 50 cents per dollar for every 5 million over. And it's hard because it's tiered. So that first 5 million is taxed at $1.50, but let's say you're $7 million over. So the first 5 million is taxed at $1.50, but those other 2 million are taxed at $1.75, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then of course, if you're a repeat offender, which is 3 out of the last 4 years you've been in the luxury tax.
Yeah, this is where it really starts to suck.
All the numbers, you pretty much add $1 to it. So the $1.50 is now $2.50. The $1.75 is now $2.75. So the Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, and I think the Bucks. I think all three of them. I know for sure the Clippers and the Warriors are repeat offenders. I'm not sure about the Bucks. And of course, the Lakers are getting there too.
Yeah.
What is that? Shitload of money in luxury tax, and of course, all that supposedly is dispersed amongst all teams.
But look, all the teams agreed to it. All the players agreed to it, and it's been working in the NBA. So the MLB, if they were to adopt whether it's a salary cap or a hard salary cap, how is it going to be? I remember when the NFL had a genuine hard salary cap. That doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
The same thing. So they have a salary cap, but it's not what it was. Major League Baseball, what are you talking about? Salary cap? Are you talking about the luxury tax with a minimum? I unfortunately I do see a salary cap eventually in Major League Baseball. I do. These players today, they're nowhere near the players of even 20 years ago or 30 years ago. They just don't have it. They don't understand. They grew up with labor peace. They don't know how good they have it. So Tony
Clark.
Clark.
Get Thomas.
That's what he said. And while you were talking, I said, "Oh, bullshit. Get your ass in here."
Yeah, that's true. He's the boss. He can take time off. Shit.
Yeah, but he is the boss. So, Almighty, your thoughts itself on salary cap for Major League Baseball?
Okay. Well, I'll give the example first of how it works in the major. God damn it. Sorry. The NFL. There we go. Got all my sports.
Eventually, we were going to get there, but thank you. Almighty.
Oh, by the way, it's going to be a weekly show Anyway,
Okay, big dog, that's a funny one. I'll tell you off air.
so
That is a funny one, Dick.
the salary cap is rounded up for the NFL is $225 million. So that's their salary cap. But if there's, and it seems to have made some kind of a parity in the NFL, but still, you still have your strong teams, and you still have, and the New England Patriots have proved, and maybe Kansas City will too, that dynasties can still happen, even though it's a salary cap. But also, and like, even if there's a salary cap, and if there's that loophole, like in the NFL,
I love you.
they will be able, like the Browns did with Deshaun
I
Watson,
love
take the
you,
bulk
man.
of that yearly thing and yearly salary and put it as a signing bonus, so it does not affect the cap at all. So, and other teams are going to use that too. Trust me. And I'm sure if Philadelphia will have to use it, will probably use it too with Jalen Hurts and a few other teams, since the Browns have led the way to loopholeness. So, but anyway, but still, even with the salary cap,
Oh, damn.
but so
Thanks,
that's just
Almighty.
what happened.
Oh, no. Continue, please. Sorry.
Oh, but
He needs a tissue to clean himself up. He
I was
too
being
excited.
phallically facetious.
so anyway, so the salary cap has been in the NFL for I can't.
Hi,
remember how long,
Jay.
for a long time. So, and it seems to have helped. There seems to be, but of course, we see the downfall of parity with the NFC South, with the and other years when teams with a 500 or lower have made it to the playoffs as as division champions, while teams that finished third with a far superior record left off the bench because they weren't in the right division. But well, maybe. But still, but I'm just saying there's ways that this can work. But NFL has a salary cap, and basically that's how it works. I don't know if there's any penalty if they go over. I don't know if it's a hard cap or not, but they usually. But I haven't heard of anybody going over it, so it might be a hard cap. I think it's a hard cap because I think they go over it to get fined and stuff. So it's a hard cap.
Almighty,
Yeah.
Is there a minimum in the NFL?
For what? The salary cap?
Well, not for the salary cap, but a minimum that a team must spend, like the NBA.
See,
Because
I didn't look
and
that
Big
up.
Dog,
I
could
just
you
looked
look
up.
it up or explain to us what happens if a team does not spend the minimum?
I don't know.
I
didn't
can't
check
speak
that
for the
one
NFL,
out.
but
I just wanted to make sure I had the.
No,
The cap.
and Almighty, I appreciate that. We've talked about this, and we ourselves don't know. That's why I was wondering if you know that right now. Big Dog, for
There
the
probably
NBA.
has to be, or there'd be, because I mean then there'll be. I don't know if there is or not. I mean, if Big Talk can find that real quick for me, I really appreciate it. I'd give him a doggy snack or something later on.
Oh.
So
Hi, Jay.
but-
Looking good, Almighty. Yes, he always dresses
thank you.
professionally for the professionals.
So anyway, that's how the NFL has a hard cap, and as I said earlier, there's ways to work around it, but they have to find it out. But you've got a great disparity too, even with the salary cap. I mean, look how much money, like Jalen Hurts making $53 million or whatever, or is that Lamar Jackson? But whatever, they're making 50-some million. When you have teams have players on the offensive line making minimum wage, which I think right now is $300,000. So there's still a salary disparity. There might be a cap, and you might have your Aaron Rodgers and whoever up here, but you might also have a starting offensive lineman, maybe a stud, making $1 million. Okay, so there is still that disparity, and plus you got to realize the life of a lineman. I think last I saw was 2.5 years that they last in the NFL before they actually have to come out because of injuries and retire and all that crap. And I think it's before they can even get any benefits. So there is still, even with the cap, there is still a disparity as far as payroll or money rise between players. So that's, I mean, it might solve parity, or if you want to call it that. But the Patriots showed if you work it smartly, and you use the Belichick way, you can still make a dynasty. And if you're Kansas City, if you guys get one stud, you can, and a couple others around them, you can still win and get. But they've learned that they still need an offensive line to protect Mahomes. I'm getting off track. But here's what
Not
thing.
at all. This is the professionals.
So there is still a disparity, and it's unfortunate. And
Sorry.
so, and plus in the NFL, a career can end at any time, as we have seen over and over throughout the decades. That, one hit, Joe Theismann, done. Who else was done? I mean, lots of players, they get one hit and they're done. And so, but to get to baseball, salary cap. Okay, you can make a salary cap, but Oakland's still going to do $40 million because that's all they can afford. What are you going to do? Make Yankees spend $100 million to keep it even?
Well,
I mean,
that's what they want. That's what these people and the people who are crying about the salary cap. I'm sorry, they are all from small markets.
Hello, Jay. How you doing?
Yes.
I'm just saying. But teams have what they have without revenue sharing.
Well, okay. Big Dog kind of touched upon it a little while ago.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
that supposedly
that's right, because you can have a salary cap, but if the Oakland A's and even the Guardians can only afford so much, and like Tampa Bay, I mean, and that's in the 80s when this first reared its head in Major League Baseball. I was in college at the time, and I was taking a speech class, and we talked out against the salary cap. Not having a salary cap, making it uneven. And then 10 years later, the Indians become a playoff team, go to the World Series with their low payroll. And this year with Tampa Bay and other times, we have seen the teams, even without a high salary cap, pull the strings. And we've seen the Yankees and the Mets not even make it by having, and the other high-priced payroll teams not make it to the World Series or whatever. So it doesn't matter. It depends on the talent and how lucky you can get. Once you realize, like the Guardians and the A's and so forth, once you realize that you're a farm team for the other 7 teams or whatever, half the league, you just get what you can out of them before you have to let them go in free agency. That makes you draft smarter in free agency. You can't. In a draft, I mean, you just can't blow picks like Yankees can just go, we'll do this, but if we don't like these guys, this guy's going to be a free agent over here on the A's, Guardians, Twins, whatever. We'll just offer him a big contract and make up the difference. So if you watch Moneyball, you've seen somewhat that Billy Beane made it work for him in a way. But I'm just saying it can be done. But like I'm going to say, $40 million is $40 million. Doesn't matter what the salary cap is. And if you make a salary cap of $100 million, the owners will love it because that puts an extra $200 million in their pocket.
Yep.
I think who said that? Did Dream say that?
Big Dog. Big Dog
and he's right. And they're not going to use that money to keep up the stadium either. I mean, that's a whole different issue. I'm not going to go there either. But I'm just saying.
I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in real quick before I get out.
Go ahead, Dream man. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I appreciate all that info, man. That was really good. And as Jay said, you're looking real sharp tonight, man. Love your tie and the hat.
Yep. I was just up for my right hand.
I just wanted to say real quick, salary cap, it's really there to benefit the owners. You're really not looking too hard at anything going back to players. They're not using that to, give bonuses and everything else. It's lining the pockets of the owners. Very little rules are accepted and set into place that benefit the players directly. The salary cap, I don't know how well that's going to work in baseball, just based off of the longevity of careers in baseball versus, say, the NFL or the NBA specifically. Because as far as baseball goes, the average career length is a lot longer than the NFL.
Or like even the NBA or even the NHL. Yes.
Right. 100%.
We've talked about that over the years. But we were surprised by the average number, folks, because of so many players being in the Major League Baseball. It is not as much as you think when you look at it mathematically. But I'm sorry, Dream. Go ahead.
No, but I mean, like, if you look at the average length of a football career, you're talking a couple months for, or a couple seasons for, linebackers. You're looking at, maybe you'll get a quarterback, lasting a good amount of time. But there's so many injuries due to contact. Same thing with the NHL.
Yes.
You
Sorry.
good, big dog? You good?
Yeah, the Sixers just beat the Celtics on a game-winning buzzer beater by Harden. So yes, fuck the Celtics.
I'm upset. I want the Lakers
Why?
to take them out in the finals.
Well, they can still get there. I'm always happy when they lose.
I agree. I agree. But as far as the salary cap goes, the baseball it has a much longer career than the other sports, which means guys are going to be around longer, which means their salary is going to be higher, which means the salary cap rules are really going to mess people up. But essentially, it's there to line the pockets of the owners. Anyway, just my 2 cents. I'm not a fan. I'm not. Pay the players what they're worth. Let them play, and get out the way.
And Dream, we thank you. We know you're busy, entrepreneur, but it's 3 cents now, brother. Especially coming from you.
Inflation. All right.
At the very least, you've earned
Gotta
it.
go.
Thanks, Dream. I hope you're doing well,
Thanks,
buddy.
Dream.
All right. Peace
Thank
out.
you, Dream. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Stud muffin.
You too.
Yeah, I was expecting Big Dog to kind of introduce him and do the stud muffin call, but it didn't happen. I don't understand why Jay is upset, and not only upset, but when you have an engineer that writes it 3 times,
He's talking
I'm
about
worried.
he's talking about the Sixers Celtics.
oh,
Upset.
fuck it then. No.
And to answer your questions that you were asking before, the minimum salary in the NFL is $750,000 a year. The base amount, as I said, the salary cap in the NBA is $123,655. The minimum
Mhm.
that an NBA team has to pay out is $111,300,000.
Okay.
Now, to answer your question, if they don't get there, the NBA ups it to that point and then distributes the money amongst all the teams.
So if a team spends $70 million and then they have to pay the difference, which is
They will pay the difference of $41 million.
Is there a penalty applied to that? Just curious.
I'd have to look it up, but yes, I believe so.
Oh, so there is a bitch penalty for the little
Yes.
cheapy kids in the bottom.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I kind of thought so. And folks, whenever we've had a conversation about revenue sharing, salary cap and stuff, I kind of remember the Big Dog did tell me years ago, he says, oh, no, scorekeeper. There's a minimum and there's a maximum. And both of them you have to pay on. And I asked, well, what do you mean a minimum? And he said, there's a penalty. Not only do they have to pay it, but then they have to give more money if they don't even spend the minimum. I was like, ooh, that's good. Man, I mean, Big Dog, what was that, like 20 years ago when we talked about that?
Something like that. And
It's a while, maybe not 20.
Just to show, like I said, it was 111.3, the lowest. So the Spurs were going to get dinged this year because they only spent $106,960,542. So at the end of the year, so their season's already over. So the NBA is calculating the difference, which is not much,
See, I
$5
just
million dollars,
Yeah,
And-
but I don't understand that.
and a penalty on it. Unless, yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. All right, 83.5 million. Okay. That's not
Now-
actually too bad since it's that since they're the fourth, they're the number
Yeah.
4, team, sport in America.
And by the way, I believe Bettman is now the senior commissioner of the 4 or 5 major sports now. Gary Bettman was hired on not long after the 1984 Olympics. And he's been commissioner for a long time.
What do you mean by he oversees all 4 sports? What do you mean?
No, I said he is the most senior commissioner of the
Oh,
major
I'm sorry,
four
I'm sorry.
sports. And then I said actually maybe even 5 when you consider soccer. But he is the most senior. So,
Because
hey,
unfortunately, no one cares about hockey. It's a fun sport, but
but Jay wants to go see a hockey game, and Jay
Oh,
has got as my witness.
so much
once
fun, Jay. It's so much fun.
Once I am healthy, I did get bad news today, so I'm a little unhappy about that. But it just whatever. So I was wanting to take Jay to go to a hockey game this year, but I'm not going to be able to. So maybe October, November, Jay. But you've never been to a hockey game, so we have to go, young man.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. The Ontario Reign is right by us. They're minor league, but those are fun games.
You can take them.
No. Wait, hear me out. Maggie's got the wheelchair. We'll just give you the wheelchair, and we'll get some handicap seats. We'll sit you in there, and then me and Jay will be on either side of you. Easy peasy.
I appreciate that, but
I'm not
I know I want to go. He says that. Yes.
I'm not going to
Jay,
help you
we're
go to the bathroom,
going to do that. I'm sorry.
I said I'm not going to help you go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Anyway, so okay, we'll just go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. So.
No, would you consider that though? I mean, I'll kid aside.
I physically wouldn't be Big Dog as it is. I already have a hard time just remaining seated during this program and all the others. So just physically, I'm going to have a lot of stuff. Whoa! Hey, stop playing with the setup. Stop it. I'm not the main guy here. So go back to where we were. Be nice. Come on. Oh, he muted himself. Way to go, Almighty. But okay.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I was just seeing. Well, I'm trying to figure out how.
We're pressing the buttons.
Well, I was trying to see what did what. I mean, whatever.
Oh, you got rid of the Big Dog.
Did I?
Yeah, look, you kicked him out.
How did I do that?
Because you're screwing around, Almighty.
Well, then I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
Sure. You see, now he's back.
I'm sorry, Big Dog. I kicked you out. I'm playing around with all the buttons.
that was me.
See?
What a
good. Now I can continue playing with buttons since it wasn't me. I'm just kidding, Raj.
Oh, I wasn't.
if it wasn't for this little gap here, he'd reach over and smack me is what he'd do. He'd go, bam, stop. You get that roller out like a Catholic nun and start hitting my knuckles. That's what he'd do.
I was never threatened by the Catholic nuns, but I did have several. And several of them spoke several languages. So when I was going to high school, we had Star Trek V in 1984, and then Mark Orkarin wrote the Klingon dictionary in early 1985. I bought that book, took it to the seminary. We couldn't learn Latin for shit, but we sure as hell were learning Klingon. That was damn funny. And a lot of my classmates learned Klingon that even after we got out of high school, we would use it every night. And it got us out of trouble because no one spoke Klingon, man. It was funny. Is there a hand down there?
Yeah. Are we doing joke of the day or?
Oh, by all means.
Since it's sports talk with the guys.
By all means, please.
It's just a quick Chuck Norris joke,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not a magic trick.
Well, kind of. Chuck, did you know Chuck Norris is so tough that he can swallow a quarter and he's going to shit out 2 dimes and a nickel?
Wow. I did not know he had that. What's that?
Am I not being...
Yeah, you're starting to go in and out again, yes.
Okay.
Tell everyone else to get off the internet.
No, it's the iPad. I'm having trouble with it. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry, Big Dog. Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the second hour here on The Professionals on May 1st, 2023. Thank you for joining us. Of course, that's a Big Dog down there, Almighty, and the scorekeeper right here. We had Dream on with us earlier. Several people in the chat room. Thank you for joining us. Almighty, you had something?
Oh, real quick, since we're talking about a salary cap, when is the agreement over? The contract?
Oh, they just signed it. I think they still have this year plus 5. They're going to be at it for a while.
That's interesting. So Almighty.
this is a situation of people not having anything else to write on. It was
Okay.
deadline. I will comment about that in certain articles when I see what they write. I said, must have been deadline and you had nothing else to write. That's
Oh,
usually
then it was a
me.
waste of words because why would I did if I would have known that I wouldn't have taken. I mean, I guess it's a good subject to discuss, but it seems like there's no imminent time on that at all since they have 6 years to go.
Yeah, and like I said, dude, there are times when there are so many trash outlets out there that
Yeah, well-
have to have an article every
No,
day.
say it
Well, I thought it was
so.
interesting because we've been dealing with this issue for over 40 years, so I mean, why not? But still, it's a good topic. But 6 years down the road, who knows what the climate will be? So anyway, you have something now, Big Dog? If we're finished with the salary cap, boo ha ha.
I mean, it's just conjecture. I mean, because we've had the Chicago curse, and then there was the Boston curse, the curse of the Bambino, and of course Chicago's was the curse of the goat. And I don't mind that if there's a curse or there's not a curse. I really couldn't give a shit. I'm happy with it. But all kidding aside, guys, what the hell's wrong with the Clippers?
Oh,
Every single year, on paper, they're a damn good team. I mean,
so do they have the Lasorda curse?
I guess you could say. I mean, on paper, much as we like to give Kawhi and PG-13 a hard time because of their injuries, when they are healthy, I mean, that is one hell of a team, much as I hate to say it. But it seems like every single year, for whatever reason, they just can't get over the hump. It's not coaching. It's not ownership. It I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it just bad luck? Is it just because they suck? Because all kidding aside, they do great in the regular season. This year they did so, but for the most part, for the last about 5-7 years, they've been at the top. Haven't gone anywhere. So, in your guys' opinions, what's going on? What do you think needs to happen for them to take it at least to the conference finals?
Jay says it's injury. They actually have the Lasorda and Tony Romo syndrome. That they're looking good on paper. What did Lasorda say over the 1986 Houston Astros? We're better on paper. What did the Astros say? We're going to kick your ass. And they did in 1986, by the way. But they lost to the Mets in the playoffs. Let's see. Jay says, it's the Clippers. That's it. That is what she said. Go ahead, Almighty. What's this?
Also, one of those curses that involves the Indians. So that was a long time ago. But
The curse of Rocky Colavito is a phenomenon
I've
that
heard that
supposedly prevents the Cleveland. Yeah, I've heard of the player before. Check it out. From winning, be it in the World Series, the American League pennant, and all that. So,
Well-
folks, it's sad because if you go back to the Bartman game again, this is the worst of fandom. It wasn't Bartman. We've talked about this ad infinitum, ad absurdum. It wasn't the curse. It was the Cubs, the players there that blew it because they still had so many opportunities
it was
to do
the
that.
curse. It was the curse of the goat, goddammit.
And it remained to be until 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they came close in 2015. And as I said, remember on the day supposedly it happens, the Cubs lost that day. And had the Cubs actually won on that day, it would have been a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you think about it, the joke is, the Cubs win, the Cubs win, the Cubs won the World Series. No, you dumbass. They won a playoff game. But it would be perfect, and the world would celebrate the Cubs won the World Series. No, it's just a playoff game. Had they won that day, it would have satisfied the prophecy in the Back to the Future. So, hey, it is what it is. So, anyway, Big Dog, just very quickly, how many years are left in the NBA contract, which was just recently signed?
I believe.
It's a long one, isn't it?
Well, they just about a month ago they agreed to not doing the out clause next season. So I believe it's 2 more years or 3 more years. But they had a clause in their agreement that they could have ended the contract next season.
Right.
And,
we talked about that.
Yeah, and just before the All-Star game or right around the All-Star game, the Players Association and the NBA got together and they both agreed to not use the out clause, the opt-out clause in it. So they will continue, I believe it's through 2026. So, but we've talked about it before for years that of all the 4 major sports, or 5 if you want to count soccer, the harmony between the Players Association and ownership. I mean, I don't think there's a better one. There's a better bond, if you want to call it that, than in the NBA. They both realize, we need the owners need us, and let's all share in this damn money. And it's of course there's always things here and there, but for the most part, they both agree. And as you can see by these salaries, that some of these players are getting, it's great. It's a great time to be a professional basketball player right now.
Appreciate that. Did you want to update us very quickly on the playoffs, Big Dog?
Sure.
And then we can get into one of the other articles that I had in mind. Jay says, you read my mind with Back to the Future with the Cubs. Jay, you haven't been with us in our climb, and every year we would go over Major League Baseball, football, and basketball as their seasons would begin. We kind of got away from that in the last year, and during COVID, we haven't really done that. But I expect us to be able to start doing that again, especially when football comes around. But every year I was asked for the Cubs, and I would always tell everyone, 2015, 2015, 2015. And in 2015, they came out of the box. They really did. And but they didn't make it. Go ahead, Big Dog, please.
All right. So yesterday in the only Game 7 of the first round, it was the Golden State Warriors going up to Sacramento and pretty much kicking the shit out of them. Stephen Curry, 50 or 51 last night.
And what was the historical thing about that in Game 7?
He now has scored the most points in a Game 7 playoff game. He surpassed.
I don't think anyone has ever done that, right?
No. Well, it's been done. I mean, in a Game 7, no. For most points, period, Michael Jordan has the record at 63. And I think it's Elgin Baylor has number 2 at 61. But for a Game 7 itself, he broke it by 2 points, I believe. I think 48 was the record, and it was just a couple of years ago. But Steph he was on fire.
Yeah, so 50 points, folks, is like hitting 3 home runs in a Game 7, man. Yeah. That's immense.
And with that, the Golden State Warriors will now play the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round. That starts tomorrow. The ESPN prognosticators, they picked 15 of their prognosticators. I won't even say best. I'll just say 15 of their prognosticators. And of the 15 of them, 13 of them chose that the Warriors will win in 6 or 7.
Good for them. That's a safe, easy bet. Good for them.
And I said, fuck you to all of them.
Yeah, bunch of pussies.
And the other one, it is the Nuggets facing the Suns. The Nuggets took care of business yesterday and beat the Suns. So they lead in it 1-0. The same prognosticators picked the Suns over the Nuggets, I believe 10 to 5 of the 15 of them. In the Eastern Conference, it will be the Knicks and the Heat. The prognosticators there are pretty much favoring the Knicks, although I'm going to go with the Heat because Jimmy Butler has been going crazy. He is earning his nickname of Jimmy Buckets.
He really
Miami-
is a big dog.
Yeah, Miami beat them yesterday, and now have a 1-0 lead. And of course, today's game we just, as we know, was considered an upset. The Celtics lost to the Sixers, and Philadelphia now leads 1-0. So the second round is just getting started. It's going to be interesting. I am, of course, hoping for the best for my team. We'll see how it goes. I was talking with Dream about this yesterday. I said I'd rather have the Warriors and the Lakers in this round, and Dream thought it would be better to have the Sacramento Kings versus the Lakers. And my reasoning is that the Kings are younger and inexperienced, so they don't have a care in the world right now. They know they're pretty much like just happy to be there. The fact that they had the second best record in the league, and they are a better team than the Grizzlies are. So, and of course, what I keep going back to is the absolute hatred that they have for the Lakers. So, I think that would have been a big factor. This Warriors-Lakers, it's going to be an old-fashioned shootout. It's going to be LeBron versus Curry. It's going to be AD versus, whoever their second man up is. So it's going to be crazy. Steph will get his 1 or 2 big games. There's no doubt about it. Klay Thompson, he's been very inconsistent. So I'm hoping he stays that way. But the Lakers have the worst luck that you get the guy that's playing the crappiest, and all of a sudden they play the Lakers, and they're Jordan and Kareem and LeBron James all wrapped up into one, and it's happened all season long. But hopefully it won't happen this series, but we'll see. And also I want to shout out to all the in the blogosphere who is putting out those just hilarious memes of Mr. Number 24 of the Grizzlies that talk shit about LeBron and the Lakers. They, that's just the way I am. I love poking the bear. And LeBron's old. I'm not going to respect him until he gives me 40. And this is the part I actually wanted to get your opinion on, Scorekeeper. How do you feel the fact that he talks so much crap in games 1 and 2? I mean, young kid. He's only like 25, 26 years old. So he's in that, talking crap age. But when they lost games 3, game 4, and of course game 6, he did not make himself available to the press and walked off the court as soon as the buzzer hit, and refused. In fact, he just got fined, I believe, $30,000 for not making himself available to the press, as is required by the NBA.
Well, everyone's going to get mad at me, but that's what we used to call a little bitch that just mouths off.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little kid that is making noise in the background and, loves to talk a big game. And, it's just his little baby. Now, in the playoffs, they should have the fines to be just ridiculously excessive. We've learned our lesson now. They should. What is the fine now? $10,000 for missing the interview?
Well, he got fined. Yeah, I guess it'd be $10,000 because he missed 3, so it was a $30,000 fine. So,
okay,
I'm not
this
sure
should
for
be
the one.
Whatever the game number it is, multiplied by round by game number. And hey, you want to miss? This is when the best is being done. So. I if this is game 7, it should be $70,000 times 2 because it's the second round. Would that be correct, Big Dog, or is it still the first round?
Well, against the Grizzlies, it was the first round. So it would
Okay,
have just been 70.
$70,000. All right. At each game that you want to miss, knock yourself out, dude. No problem. You want to miss? Go ahead and miss. That's how you treat the little biatch. Okay. So, Big Dog, you know how I feel about trash talking. First of all, no one knows how to trash talk anymore. They don't. They really don't. They're just stupid little video game players that their daddies were much better at trash talking than they were. No one knows how to trash talk anymore.
And not only that, but this guy was like maybe the third or fourth best guy on the team. So it's it's like Patrick Beverly trash talking, you know?
Yeah. Usually when those guys trash talk, what does the rest of the team do? Turn around and shut up. Don't put us in that spot. Guys, I've told the story that when Dream and I were competing when we were in a youth group, Dream's team was kicking the holy living crap out of us. They were just batting around, just kept getting run after run after run. And they weren't dicks about it. They were lighting us up like a Christmas tree, you know, and it was summer. It sucked. And but they weren't dicks about it. And then they went dark. I mean, they went flat. Their bats disappeared, and we started coming back. And we actually took the lead. A miracle come from behind. And everyone on my team, we had girls and boys on our team, and they started to cheer. I'm like, no, shut your mouths. Number one, because there were 2 reasons. Number one, you don't want to irritate them and give them a reason to get back in.
That's right.
And 2, they weren't dicks to us when they were. I mean, they had our heads and they were rubbing them in the dirt, okay? And they didn't say anything. They weren't dicks about it. So my thing to them was, hey, they weren't talking shit. They weren't high-fiving and clapping when they were knocking us in the dirt. So that was my primary thing, is they weren't dicks to us. Don't be dicks to them. And the other thing is, don't piss them off. Don't give the other team reason. There is nothing good that comes of trash talking. And Almighty, you did go silent for a little bit. Jay did have a comment earlier. And no cowbells, Almighty. So I don't know if you did see that earlier. But Jay does say Detroit Pistons. Oh, okay. They were a-holes, but they were good at it. How big
and
dog?
they could back it up. I mean, it's one
And
thing
they
to
could back
trash
it up.
talk.
Yes.
You know, it's one thing to trash talk. And the thing was, too, with this guy, I can't remember.
You're right,
Barnes,
Jay.
The guy Barnes that was doing the, I don't respect him, blah, blah, blah. LeBron wasn't having a great first couple of games. I mean, they won the first, Lakers won the first one. He did okay. I think he scored like 14 or 16. He wasn't having a LeBron James type numbers. And after, they're getting ready and he's, as they said, he's poking the bear. Why go after a guy who's not having a great series, but he's the greatest, he's not my favorite guy. You guys all know that, but I got to respect what he's done. Why are you poking at the guy who is the greatest scorer of all time and averaged in his 20th year, averaged almost
that.
And averaged in his 20th year almost 30 points a game? You're saying, oh, he's old, I don't respect him, he's old, he's trash. I mean, what's the stupidity in that?
I think the question in and of itself is right there. It's
Yeah.
How stupid are you? Oh, okay. I asked the question. How stupid are you? Big Dog knows that I will cheer for my teams. I'll mutter against them, but I'll never give the opposition reason to get pissed off. But you cheer for your team. That's the best trash talk there is actually the best bit of trash talk, folks. Scoreboard. Scoreboard. And that was in the 1990s. Remember that, Big Dog? The late 90s?
Yep.
That was the best bit of trash talk. All right. Yeah, I know. Oh, well, my team's the best team, in the fourth quarter and with so many down by this. And scoreboard, pal. Scoreboard. Yeah, it's like the Red syndrome again. I told Big Dog, hey, Big Dog, he remembers in the 90s and early 2000s when the Reds just always sucked. I told Big Dog one time, hey, Big Dog, I don't know how, but I spent some time on the internet and I ended up in some Cincinnati. That's why the Big Dog makes fun of me about the Cincinnati Reds being my second best favorite team. I said, dude, they are psychos, dude. If you go over to a Reds board anywhere, dude, if you read their posts, they believe they're the greatest team in the history of shit. Oh yeah, did you know that the Reds on night games following a doubleheader loss, they've got the best winning percentage, they're batting, runners and score, and it's just psycho shit. It's just psycho shit that they're trying to, trying to chest bump each other, and they're like, they're the shittiest team in baseball. But I guess they had to talk about something. So I told Big Dog, hey, Big Dog, if you're ever depressed, remember? If you're ever depressed, go visit a Reds fan board, and your life will be better for it. Because you will realize that there are other people that are much more fucked up than you.
Well, see, I used to do stuff like that. Maybe not necessarily the Reds, or maybe it was the Red after you told me that, or whatever team it was. And I would love to go in there just to piss people off, because they'd be like, just like you said, oh yeah, did you know that after they played a doubleheader on a Tuesday night,
yes,
from a day game to a night game, they had the best blah 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 blah. And what do you have to say about that? My answer would be, well, even the sun shines on a dog ass sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, and they would just go ballistic on that.
They would, and it's just absolutely funny, folks. That's why I think the best bit of, other than what Jay said earlier about the Detroit Pistons, they were a-holes, man, but they were good at it. And like Big Dog said, not only were they good at it, they backed it up. The Detroit Pistons, the mean guys from Detroit, they were a good team, and they backed it up. And I think that's what we loved to hate about the Detroit Pistons, is they were going to come in, they were going to beat your ass, talk some shit, but it was glorious when you could put it to them. But Detroit was good while they were good.
Let's see both of you guys. Who do you think? And also Jay, who do you believe that the players said was the best trash talker in the 80s and early 90s?
Basketball, right?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, give me a quick moment. Just because most fans won't know, I'm gonna say it was either Larry Bird or it's just practice. And you're frozen, Big Dog.
I don't know. No, I'm not.
I know. To me, you are. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know about Iverson, but okay. Almighty.
I guessed. I don't know.
Well, I guess
Dr.
I was
J?
thinking. Well, I was thinking that too.
Oh.
I was thinking, but I was, Dr. J, or maybe Magic Johnson.
Oh, wait a minute. Jay could be our Dr. J. Ooh, I like that. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, Raj had it on his first guess.
It was, huh? It was.
Larry Joe Bird, Hick from French Lick.
Okay.
They said he talked so much. All the players, he talked so much trash, and the problem was you couldn't stop him. There was a story. In fact, I just saw the video of it the other day.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm. And there was so they said the Celtics were down by 2. They had the ball with like 5 seconds or 6 seconds left, and I can't remember who the defensive player was, but it was a big time defensive player. And they said when they came out of the huddle, Bird walked up to him and said, "You're taking me, right?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, of course, I'm guarding you." And he's like, "Okay." They said Bird actually walked him over. He's all, I'm gonna screen. They're gonna screen me. I'm going to come over and right here at this spot, I'm going to hit a 3-pointer over you for the game-winning shot. And the guy said he laughed. They inbounded the ball, set a screen for Bird. Bird went through that exact same spot. He shot it as the buzzer went off, and he hit the 3. The guy was just like, what are you going to do?
That's trash talking and backing it up. I thought we talked about this some months ago, Big Dog, where the guys back then, such as Johnson, Bird, when Jordan was starting to come around, they all talked shit on the court.
Oh, big time.
Off of it, it stayed on the court, and that was it.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they did. They were the professionals where they talked crap, but that's where it stayed.
But yeah, and the difference between then and now is, like, now they'll talk trash, and then after the game they go out to dinner together. You don't see in the 80s. No, that didn't have. Bird and Magic did not have dinner ever.
And Bird and that center from Detroit.
Lambier. Yeah, Lambier.
Yeah, they didn't go out to dinner either.
Yeah. The thing was, if they were on the other team and they would, you talk trash, you didn't go, be buddy afterwards.
Yeah.
Everybody had their little cliques and shit.
Yeah.
But it still stayed on the court though.
Now, yes, and forgive me for that. And Jay did say, Big Dog and Jay, you guys have to enlighten me on this, because I really don't remember Rodman as being a dick or a trash talker. And maybe I was kind of stupid by saying it. But Reggie Miller, yes,
big time
he did
Reggie,
trash talk. Yeah.
Rodman may not have talked a lot of trash, but he did things. So as we all know, or if you don't know, if you're young and don't remember, Dennis Rodman was one of the best defensive players ever.
Yeah, he was, man.
So what he used to do, of course, and back in the 80s, you could body up on the guy. When you're trying to defend him, you body him. When they're backing you down or whatever, you're right there. So they said that Rodman all the time that he's bodying you, and of course when you're bodying, you're hip checking pretty much each other, with each other's hips, because you're trying to block them, as you're moving. And Rodman, when he would get close enough, he'd be all, I'm not wearing any underwear. Or shit like that. And this is coming from Rodman. And he would say, he would tell the guy that, and in the next sequence play down, he would really body up and kind of like rub his groin on the guy's like thigh.
Okay, now that's interesting.
To get into the guy's mind.
Yes, you do that. You get into the guy's mind, and that is so funny. And to think that he didn't really have to do that because he was going to outplay you anyway, but wow. That's funny. That's damn funny. I didn't know that one.
Yep. So there's different forms. There's different forms of trash talking.
Yes, but hey, folks, I did it playing baseball. I would talk crap since I played first base. I was a pitcher, so you didn't get to talk crap a lot when you're on the mound because the umps get real pissy when the pitcher's talking shit. So, but as a first baseman, when I was playing the semi-pro ball here in Southern California, at first base, I was actually the friendliest guy on the team. Everyone in the opposition would actually talk to me. But when the games were closer and tighter, I'd F with them. Oh, hell yeah. But the funniest thing is I wasn't mean, but I basically played in the hood. So could you imagine me playing in the hood with my speech pattern? I would say shit to these guys, and they're like, what? And it would distract them. And it was funny, and I knew I had that. I would tell them something, and it would throw them off. And we used to pick off a lot of runners at first base. I'm so proud of that. Oh, my God. It was funny. And it's not that the guys were dumb. But, folks, my speech pattern does not fit in the hood. So I played all over the place, and I got away with a lot of stuff. I did. Hell, I even intimidated some umpires just by the language. But I wasn't. You guys have heard the stories. I didn't. I was a friendly guy in the field. I was just happy to be playing. But when the games were close, you got to get under their skin. You got to talk crap to them. My thing was just to keep them off balance, and I think that was the pitcher in me. Is you got to keep them off balance. And I was playing first base, so screw it. Little bird. He's talking crap. So anyway, Almighty, where are you, buddy? Oh, wow, he's back like that. You're still muted, brother. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
As far as movies go, though, baseball shit talking, I think Bull Durham was up there.
Oh, good God, yes.
And Major League. Tom Berenger, remember he's behind the plate?
Yeah.
When you have to get the out, he's talking about the wife with the lampshade. No.
And guys, there is so much of that shit that really does go on. Sometimes it gets really mean. But I miss playing. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right, Big Dog. Because there's always the chirpy little birds. And more often than not, you just ignore them. But every now and then they'll get a good zinger. And you know it's a good zinger when your own teammates, on the opposition are laughing. The runner at second's talking shit to the pitcher. And the team on the bench is laughing. That's really good stuff. That's how you know it's really funny. And I appreciated that stuff. Because, again, you're trying to keep them off balance. Because, if you want to be mean, you want to be a dick, there's nothing to that. And you know what? No one likes you. And you're going to get spiked. It's just the way it is. And I'm all right with that. Because you want to be a dick, go ahead, be a dick. But that's a whole different era. So anyway, but Reggie Miller, yeah, I had forgotten about him. That guy.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest trash talkers.
Yeah.
Especially against the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. But very quickly, gentlemen, I want to take a quick commercial break. Announcement. We have tomorrow a program that was just scheduled. What is it going to be, gentlemen? Would you guys give us a tease about that? And then we're going to talk about our first joke night of 2023. So go ahead. What's going to happen tomorrow at 6?
It'll be Porn Stars 101, and we'll be interviewing porn stars and talking about their positions that they use in the movies.
Wow, it's about time.
And it'll be on the 69 channel.
NDB Media 69. You guys think that it's not real. It is real.
There was, what, two shows? 3 shows? 4 shows?
Not too many, but yeah, there were 4. A few.
Because you guys interviewed that one girl, the Playboy girl.
Oh, you guys. It was Cliff, dude.
Yeah, we learned a lot about Cliff on his.
Oh my God. Big Dog and I were like,
little too much we learned from him there.
Holy crap, we did. Oh my God.
No, but all kidding aside, people, tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, we will be having Comics 101 making a return, and we'll be talking comics, all things happening. We'll be talking about Free Comic Book Day, which will be this coming Saturday, and we'll also be going over the ages of comics, gold and silver, and the fact that the modern age has been the modern age now for 25 years, Almighty?
40.
It seems that, well, yeah.
No, it has been since 1980. Yeah. After the bronze was modern in 1885.
Yeah.
As far as
85. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. It's
so
important.
yeah. So I think you and I talked about it. We said, there have been different ages in that 40-year period. They just didn't want to admit it, or they're too lazy to make new ones. But I guess but you and I have taken it upon ourselves to come up with our own list, right. And we've been meaning to do this for about as long, 4 decades, trying to get this show going.
And also, I want to put it out there now, just to not to warn you, but to advise you out there. If we don't know you and we don't know who you are, I'm sorry, you cannot come on. We had a problem on the very first show. Someone hijacked it, and I was stupid enough to let them on, and I couldn't get them off fast enough, and they did a couple of things that I'm not going to go into. And so Almighty and myself talked, saying, unfortunately, unless we know who you are and actually know you, we can't allow you on the show. I'm sorry. You can comment, but we can't allow people
Well,
on
you,
the
you
show.
don't
I'm sorry.
have free reign in your comments either. If we see them
Yeah.
being too derisive or
Yes.
unnecessary, we will be booted. We're not gonna,
Yeah,
you know,
we're
there's
not
only
gonna
so
mess
much
around on
that
that.
we will allow, and the First Amendment doesn't cover your derogatory or your racial comments whatsoever.
Yes. Well,
But,
actually,
you know,
it'll be like I said. You know, First Amendment, you can say what you want, but there's consequences, and the consequences are we kick you off.
Yeah, folks, the First Amendment is one thing and one thing only. The government cannot infringe on your right to be a dumbass. That's all the First Amendment is.
so Jay, yeah, well, we will have this show will happen tomorrow, 6:00 your time. You're free to join us if you're a fan, or not just in the comments, but in the show, because as you
Yeah, we know you.
Yeah,
But
gentlemen,
Roger,
I need you
Roger
to
has
post.
added you, right? Roger, you've added him as
Actually, Jay
Yes.
is now in the NDB Media Forum. Gentlemen,
one
before
more
the
thing.
episode, will you please put the link in the forum, say for Comics 101 on this date and this time, and put the link. That way, all the other hosts can join in that way.
Put it where?
In the NDB Media Forum
Oh, okay.
on the NDB Media page. I'll go ahead and do it right now, and you guys can see and then kindly
Okay.
like it. I know you're not, but kindly
But,
like it. That way, I know you saw it. They're not going to do it.
Okay, but real quick,
Everything I ask, you never do. Go ahead, Almighty.
that's true. That's
Hey,
what my wife.
is
Hey,
it weekly
Same.
or is it a one-off?
I got the same.
Is it weekly or a one-off?
Yeah. Anyway, I got the same complaint from the ex, so you're not alone.
I was
So,
gonna say the same thing. So I was going that same. I was gonna say that's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. A lot of them said that. All right, real quick here, since we're a little bit, but Jay and Big Dog, and I don't know how to get a hold of Tony, but Michael did ask me about when we were going to start the horror show, but we were just discussing it. But if you want to really discuss it, we can do that in the forum in the chat room if you want. But I'm serious about doing it. But I mean, but if you want to, we can start discussions to see if we want to do this and when. And I think that Tony wanted to join us too. I'm not sure, but
so yes.
But I don't know if he's in our chat or not. So I don't know how to.
He also accepted. He's in as well.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'll just put it out there, and maybe I'll just make us a separate room so we can just discuss it there, and that way we won't interfere with
the
us.
horror room.
Yeah, the horror 101. Or like I told you, Big Dog, we're going to call it Blood and Boobs. And then we'll
there you go.
Okay, gentlemen, it is now official. And ladies and gentlemen, I cannot on the 15th. We already have a guest on the 8th. Samantha Glassner from the ARC will be joining us next Monday at 6 p.m. Almighty, I'm hoping you're going to be there for that one.
Oh, sure.
On Sunday at noon.
What part does she play? What part does she play in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
She plays Kelly.
I remember that name.
Kelly.
She's Kelly.
Kelly?
Yeah.
I remember Kelly in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but okay.
Actually, she was in there. She was the rock that was rolling over and trying to run over Indiana Jones.
Cool.
So
yeah, you're probably right about that too. Don't know if you're talking. Yeah, Kelly, because that's a good name for her too. I mean, for the Rock. I mean,
by the way,
if you see the ARC, you would get the. Yeah, that's cool. That'd be right.
It would fly. Yes, it would. But we're gonna go on Monday, May 22nd. Joke Night returns in 2023, folks.
When is it? When is it?
On May 22nd. So it is 1, 2, 3 Mondays from now.
What time?
Oh, yes.
I think we're going to go a little bit later, folks. I'm sorry. Almighty, would that be okay with you? We're going to have to start at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, fine. Real quick
Thank
here,
you.
Jay just reminded me this upcoming Sunday, the 7th, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock. No. I'm sorry. 3 o'clock Pacific will be the first of our shows of Better Call Saul, episode 1 of season 6. And we may do a real quick recap of season 5 to get everybody caught up. But just
okay, all kidding aside, when are you going to start?
Sunday at 3:00 your time.
Okay, then we, gentlemen, we now
Well,
also,
that
yes, I'm about to tell you guys. We have a calendar which you will all receive access to. You've been receiving email reminders for Sports Talk with the Guys, but for every other program, you will have access to the calendar. You will be able to schedule the events there as well to book them because Michael, as everyone knows, oh, mother of God, you know he is booking guests left and right. And we have to schedule these programs in advance. Big Dog, proceed.
Joke night, PG, PG-13, R, X-rated. What are we going with? I need to know, so I gotta plan my jokes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joke Night, May 22nd, 2023, will be Joke Night, rated maggot.
Oh, damn. Okay, rated mature. Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Rated mature. Don't bring your children. So.
No, I should rate our Comics 101 too.
What?
Anyway.
Oh, well, on YouTube, on Facebook, everything, we're already rated
that's
as mature. We
Everything
are.
is rated.
Yeah. But I think we're going to have to put the notice on Joke Night. That one, there is, oh my God. We were really stupid on Joke Night. People did get offended and were like, it was rated maggot. I mean, come on, folks. What does a maggot do?
And plus, have you met us?
Are you going to be doing anything this Thursday?
Why? What's up?
It's May the 4th.
Oh, what do you want to do? A Star Wars thing?
No, I'm just wondering, since you like
Star
taking
Trek.
advantage of something.
I'm Star Trek, brother. But yes, I do appreciate that. May the 4th.
Although definitely Sports Talk with a Guy, we can have an evil theme to it because, it'll be May the 6th be with you.
Do you want to have another Thursday night Sports Talk with the Guys like we used to? Big Dog and I were so excited about doing this shit, and we did it for 2 months. And we're like, we're out.
We did it more than that. We did it for almost 4. We had a Saturday, a Monday, and a Thursday show.
And it was fun, man.
And I would jump in when he'd do his Tuesday Night in America. So we were on Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And sometimes Friday.
Too much. And we had jobs, folks.
Yeah, well, we did.
Oh my God, we just got exhausted, man. It just, yeah.
I
we didn't go 20, 30 minutes either.
Yeah, I still remember the time that he was interviewing someone from New York. And that was the year, at that particular time, I was working in Manhattan in Spanish Harlem. And he's talking to, I think he was a writer. And Roger's trying to hook us up for me to go visit the guy in New York. And the guy was playing along until he realized I was in New York, and the guy was just like, yeah, I'm not close to Spanish Harlem. Yeah, I'm not anywhere near that.
Keith DeCandido. Everyone who knows Star Trek knows Keith DeCandido. And he's also my birthday, which is really kind of cool. If I'm not mistaken, we have the same birthday, April 21, which is cool. And he's a cool guy, man. And we had a lot of fun with that one. But it was funny. We were like, dude, he's right around the corner. Big Dog was in New York. It was hilarious. It was good. It's fun. So, folks, we just want to get that out there. We're adding those items on calendar. Joke Night returns May 22nd. It will be on at 7 p.m. I'm going to program it. But I ask you guys to bear with me. Michael and I are making the calendar work, and I will give you guys an idea of what it looks like. So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. You're going to see some internal stuff from NDB Media right now. And here it is. This is what the calendar looks like. So, as you can see, it has the programs already and the slots that are taken, such as Travel Edge Radio from 5 to 6, Sports Talk with the Guys from 6 to 10, Evernew 10:30 to 12, and then the times that are open. You see Samantha Glassner, she's here, 6 to 8. Cosmo K from the Ark, 12 to 2. Christy Burke, from the Ark. The captain of Ark 1 is joining us on May 21st at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And of course, Jedi Tax Online, JTO, will be on at 8 p.m. And then director, writer, actor Ben Emanuel will be joining us on May 29th on what's May? What? Oh my God, what is that? Memorial Day. So he's going to be joining us. So that's just some items that we have on calendar right now. But you guys are seeing what the calendar looks like. You're going to have access to it, and no one else will have access to it except the hosts. So when you schedule a program, you're going to be able to take the slot because, again, we have so many people that Michael is scheduling that we've got to come up with the calendar that everyone will have access to. So over the next week, all the hosts will have access to the calendar. So here's what we are. Here's where we are right now. Jay, I don't even listen myself. Who and what about Star Wars? So,
probably the May the 4th show. But we were just
so he was blowing up your butt, big dog. And Jay, that is a task in and of itself.
Hell yeah, it is.
Okay, so we are looking at starting on the 7th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Is that when you guys want to do Better Call Saul review?
What did you say?
Better Call Saul starts on Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time?
Yes, please.
And do you know how many weeks it's going to run?
No.
What is your plan?
Don't have a plan.
Okay. Oh, Almighty, I have news for you. Jay is an educated man, and he's an engineer. If you don't have no plan, he beat your ass. Dude, he holds me to a fire when he's like, okay,
but,
blah, blah, blah.
But
Like, don't hold me that
that
shit.
though.
What's that?
Almighty likes that though. When they beat his ass.
Yeah. No, there's a plan. I think we are planning on doing
it's
an episode.
Up here. That's what Almighty has. It's up here. Oh, you're right, Jay. Yes. If you guys would check my Instagram account, it was kind of funny. He did an Instagram with Star Wars at the office. It was kind of funny. I appreciate that, Jay. Yeah, Jay's like, uh-oh. Scorekeeper wasn't kidding.
Also, I was thinking we could do a Star Wars day, or you can do a Star Wars day, and we'll talk about Star Trek.
Hey, Jay, did you hear that? We can do. Oh no, you can do a Star Wars day.
No, we always talk about Star Trek. We advertise it as Star Wars, but when they get on, they're talking about Star Trek.
Oh my God, I think that would be great. I think we'll do it on Thursday then. That'll be good. I'm gonna have to book it. So, just so I can start programming it, will we?
Yeah, we'll talk about how the Cylons attack and stuff.
Oh, that's perfect. That will be perfect. And then we can talk about that dumb shit stupid visor. Oh my God, which happens on September 1st on my Facebook page. Oh my God. Even Big Dog thought that shit was funny. He's like, dude, that was funny. I said, Big Dog, I'm not making that shit up. I'm not. Everyone thought I was making that story up about the Galactic and the Enterprise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments. I go, gee, Rod, you're funny. I'm like, no, I can never come up with that level of stupidity. Did you watch the movie Air?
No. Speedy did.
Yeah, he did.
And he was disappointed because if you guys read his post beforehand, he thought
No.
I think he truly thought Jordan was in the movie.
Okay. We have to
I've been commenting on his posts. I've been correcting him.
But we can't.
You've noticed that, huh?
And on air, we can't be dicks to him, guys.
I wasn't the one. I didn't mention a word this time. You know who did it?
Me.
All program long.
It was me.
No, it was someone from across the pond.
Did she really?
You were talking. You didn't hear all of the stuff that she was saying. You were saying stuff along with Speedy or with Almighty, and Speedy would say something, and she would throw in a, yeah, punctuation would be nice sometimes, and blah 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 blah.
You know,
Yeah,
folks.
running sentences all run together. Yeah, we don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You know,
I was the
she's
only
not.
one hearing all that.
She's not here with us right now, and she's told me several times. She says, "I don't have anything to say." I said, "Oh, bullshit, anime! You have a lot to say." She was on with us for a few weeks, and she says, I just stay quiet. I said, no, 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 no. We love having you on. When you spout off something, you forgot to mute yourself, Big Dog. We heard the yawn.
I took the camera off. You can hear me. You can hear me yawn. I don't care.
Yeah, wow, thank you. Appreciate that. He was in the movie. Okay, all right, Jay. And Jay says, great movie in his opinion. LOL. And he says he was in the movie. He probably was, but
the actor or Michael, because I think he thought Michael was going to be in the movie. I know there was a guy playing Michael Jordan.
Right. Yeah.
I think he thought Michael was going to be in the movie.
I mean, come on. We're talking about the Air Jordans. Of course Michael's in it. The character is in it.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, we shall see. So how are you guys going to do the Better Call Saul? Are you going to review one episode? Are you going to review multiple?
Wasn't Michael played by Matt Damon?
What?
Oh, man.
Thank you, Jay.
To answer your questions, scorekeeper, didn't Matt Damon play? Anyway, yeah, we'll probably do one. We'll start out doing, one episode at a time because we don't want to do, and that way we'll see how it goes. So,
okay, then I'm going to tentatively schedule. How many episodes were in the run?
Were there 10 or 12?
174.
Were there 10 or how many episodes were in that season? Jay? I don't remember.
Are you doing the entire series or just the first season?
Season 6. We're going over season 6.
Season 6, okay.
We're not doing a rewatch. We're just I guess we're doing a rewatch of season 6, but the last season. Oh, that's okay. True. That's true. We do need to do a Breaking Bad rewatch down the line.
I think it was 10, says Jay. Folks,
10 or
I
11.
know that we are going to do
so this will last until into the summer. Okay, it'll go
Breaking Bad.
Let's just say it'll last until the end of summer to give us some
13 episodes.
So then for now, I'm going to program 14, just 14 to do it. And we'll be good. Now, if you guys need to change the time, that's fine. We just need to coordinate on the calendars. I'm going to set it up right now. Starting.
Right, I know it's flexible, but I'd rather have a little breathing room than not have enough. But
yeah, I just want to book it. What are you looking at? An hour, 2 hours?
Well, I think Jay and I were discussing a half hour, but I
laughed at it when Jay told me that.
Like, and I did too. But I went along with it to keep him happy. And
you are overqualified for a job in the county of Los Angeles. Keep the engineers happy, you'll have a job for life.
Yeah, but probably an hour. That's why I said a half hour. That's why I said a half hour, because I knew I'll probably go 45 minutes to an hour.
Schedule it for 2, Raj.
We're going to keep the time booked.
Well, we don't want to run into Roger's or the Sunday programs that Roger does either. So that's why we're trying to make sure there's enough space in between programs.
Well, I'm just saying 2 hours just to give you that buffer.
Yes.
Just like us, Sports Talk with the Guys is a 2-hour show, and we haven't done a 2-hour show in about 2 years. 3 years.
2 hours?
Right. We haven't done one in 2 hours. Jay liked my comment. He did like about you're overqualified. So what's it called? Better Call Saul season 6 rewatch?
Oh my God, we didn't name it.
Yeah, well, guess what? It has a name in the calendar as such.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess let's go with that. That is very.
It's going to repeat every Sunday. And okay, so we're going to it was how many episodes?
And that's what my wife said also to me.
Wait, Big Dog, you said how many? 13?
Ex-wife.
Yeah, 13.
So I'm going to do it 14.
Yeah, because I was wondering if they're gonna start off on episode 1 to recap up to season 6.
Well, I
will
did.
you
Well,
just
I
start with season 6.
Well, yeah, I said. Jay asked me about it, and I finally got back to him, and I did go. We'll probably recap at least season 5, and then go from there. But because I didn't know how long it would take us to recap 1 through 5, that would probably be a show all in itself, just recapping 5 seasons real quick.
Roger's reading numbers in the air. Watch out. They're floating. He's picking them out.
Well, I imagine the first episode will just probably go that way. We could recap real quick season 1 through 5, but at least give us some wiggle room. But because
that was funny, Big Dog.
Well, you were going. You were like,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's okay.
That was funny. You caught me because I was looking up at my calendar.
I know you were looking at the calendar, but I was like, well, they can't. No one else can see what I know is there.
That was funny. I cannot wait for Joke Night, folks. So, folks, the rules with Joke Night are simple. Come ready to play. The mission is this, folks. Selfishly, we learned from the very first Joke Night that we did, and Big Dog remembers, and I think Dream was there for the first one as well. Big Dog was there, I was there, and I forget who else. We had a whole bunch of guys. But the Ray Day tray of Joke Night was to try to make each other, everyone that was there laugh. Oh, Cliff! Holy shit, Cliff was there. Yes.
Yes, he was.
Cliff was there too. That's the ones that got it going. And folks, all we did was try to make each other laugh. And more often than not, we made everyone laugh in the chat room, which was really cool. And I noticed that some of the jokes were so damn good that each successive one, they got personal. Because people started directing jokes at people, and they got me. They were damn funny. And everyone knew it. It was damn funny, Big Dog. Some of them got damn mean, but they were hilarious. It's just going to show how ruthless some of us could be. Oh, my God. And that's what made us laugh. And then it just became part of it, where I think we were just out to get each other. And it was damn funny. Oh, my God. So, all right. I think I have it scheduled. Obviously, we can
and
do
also
more.
For Joke Night, guys, as you said, it got kind of personal. We laughed. So you're the type of person. There's 2 types of person that this show won't work for. One type of person is you like to dish it out, but you can't take it. That person is going to have problems.
Yeah.
Second person is if you have a thin skin. If you have a thin skin, you also don't belong on this particular show. I'm coming right out right now saying it. Roger, like Roger says, come ready, comes with guns loaded. So, and I'll admit I'm one of the worst ones there. I won't do the pizza joke anymore. That one's been retired forever. But I'm like a level below that. Anybody who heard the pizza joke knows what I'm talking about. So I stay like a level below that now.
And we had to do the Rick D's one for that.
Yes,
if you guys don't understand. Yeah, Rick D's got
that's
fined.
sad. Roger, that's sad that so many people don't know here in Southern California. Many people don't know who Rick Dees is anymore. And you know what? He's still around, Raj.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. He's in Palm Springs.
Yeah. Not crazy.
Melissa there about 6 or 7 months ago. She had a flight for work, and driving to the Palm Springs airport, I was trying to find a radio station, and it was Rick Dees, and he was doing the afternoon show, the 1 to 5 time slot. because I heard the voice. I'm like, boy, that voice sounds familiar. And I was like, no, it can't be. No, it's probably, one of their tapes or whatever that they're playing, from when he was with Kiss FM back in the day. And no, he's there now every day. His voice sounds older, but it's still Rick Dees.
Wow. Yeah. Rick Dees in the morning. So the thing is, folks, Rick Dees would the guy was very funny, but apparently he told a joke that was really bad, and the FCC fined him. So Rick Dees is the one that came up with it, a la Johnny Carson.
Yes.
Where everyone
the Great
knew.
Karnak.
Yes, and if you don't know who the Great Karnak, well, F you guys as well. So I mean, it's geez, come on, the Great Karnak. Rick Dees, he was on for 3 or 4 hours in the morning, and at 8 minutes after every hour, right, Big Dog, or whatever it was, he told the joke.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Well, after he got fined, he then switched it. He told the answer first, and he gave the punchline first, and then an hour later, which kept the audience there. And
which when you think about it, was an extremely smart move, because it made them stay and listen to, the actual joke part of it, since he gave the punchline. And the thing was, he would do it like Scorekeeper said, 8 minutes, like 7 minutes after 7 o'clock, and he would tell you, I'll give you the joke within the hour, so you couldn't leave and come back at 8:07. It was any time between 7:07 to 8:07. Somewhere during that time, he'd give you the joke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that kept you there. But they did him dirty, so it's just the way it went. It's a business.
Yes, it is.
No, we're waiting for you. You're the one that's staring out into the sun, into the.
Let it go. I'm just trying to program this thing. Yeah, I'm still trying to program the damn event. And Toma! It's now on calendar. So I'm very happy. So those days are now procured for you boys. So, all right. And I'm going to set up joke night as well. So we'll see. So, all right. Get it in there. But as long as it's on the main calendar, then we know, and we won't be scheduling.
That's what she said.
Stuff.
Get it in there.
Right. Yeah. As usual, I missed it. So.
That's what she said.
Yeah. There's nothing else on there. So you're getting a tiny taste of joke night. All right, here we go. What is it? Go ahead. Ooh, I was going to say Zeke, mother of God. Sorry. Almighty. Tell us.
Okay. Yeah, I figured. You're on mute. You're on mute. Can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yeah, come on, dumbass.
He knows. Now he's messing around.
All right. Anyway, Cowboys haven't rolled out re-signing Ezekiel Elliott despite taking Deuce Vaughn in 2023 NFL draft.
Wow. So are you saying the Cowboys, if they sign Ezekiel, are going to drop a deuce?
I don't know if they'll drop the deuce, but they've already taken the deuce.
I don't know if it's breaking news.
No, I saw it earlier, but I didn't. But these running backs are not finding that there's a big market for them anymore, like there used to be. They don't want to spend the cash on them. That's why they're signing rookies, because they can keep them for up to 6 years. Yeah, under all that crap, and by the time they're done with them, they're all washed up. Generally,
and Zeke is older, and he's had his injuries. But I mean, I kind of saw this one coming. Let him go. If someone signs him, the Cowboys are probably saying, "Great." If they don't, let's bring him back at the bare minimum amount that we can pay him, and he'll be the backup.
Yeah,
smart move.
But it's just that. Well, Jerry Jones. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Big Dog.
No, I was just going to say one of the few smart moves that the Cowboys would do, because it is the Cowboys.
Well, this is
But-
coming from Jerry Jones that the ship hasn't sailed and
Yeah.
we haven't made a decision. We've obviously drafted a running back, a little different style than Zeke, but it doesn't change. For us, as far as our interest in Zeke, nothing we did today changes that. So, that's how for use of Jerry Jones, and plus they still have Tony Pollard. So I don't know, so it's not.
Yeah.
And does he still have that contract, or is he a free agent? I don't,
who?
Zeke.
He
They
is
they cut him, man. He's a free
They
agent.
cut him, so he's a free agent. Free agent.
So so that big deal is no longer. So I think he's still
Yeah.
trying to find that big money, and he's not going to find that big money. And I think a lot of running backs are finding that.
Yeah, he's too old now for that. To look for a big contract.
And
I
now that
mean-
they signed a running back, oh, I'm sorry, Big Dog.
No, that's fine. What I was just gonna say is, for Zeke, I'm thinking 3 to 5 million maybe a year, maybe 2 years tops, a 1 year deal, most likely with the Cowboys. If he signs somewhere else, they might give him 2 years, but I don't see him getting more than a two year. I mean, maybe a 3-year deal if they're
He has
desperate.
to come off his contract.
Oh,
He has
big
to come
time.
off
Yeah,
his
that's what I'm saying.
demands.
That's what I'm saying. 3 million, maybe 5 if he's lucky. But that is high end, I think, for him right now.
You know, Big Dog, I would argue everything you said insofar as that is correct. But I would say as we get closer to the season, and if he's still not signed yet, he might get a honeypot deal where, someone got hurt and they might need him, and then he might get a few extra bucks. But right now, I agree with you 100% on that. Conditions could change if he's not signed. And he might get a little bit more, but that's a lot of risk because the longer he stays unsigned, I think it goes like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. I can't wager the amount of money, but Big Dog, the numbers sound right to me. But he's not going to get what he was expecting, knowing that the Cowboys drafted a running back.
Yeah.
But this guy's far from washed up. Sorry, Armando.
No, I was going to I agree with you, Scorekeeper. I was going to say that he may have to be an injury replacement. He may be signed during the preseason, but since the draft is over and the free agency thing has done, I mean, like I said, Scorekeeper, you're probably right. He may be an insurance if there's cap room and they get it at the right price, or an injury replacement.
Yeah.
So we could see him in a Cleveland Brown uniform soon.
Did we luck out him being muted, or was that a good setup?
No, he it's a setup just like you when you do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't say no. Who knows? I mean, who knows what these clowns will do up there nowadays? But anyway, that would mean that either Chubb got hurt, and that I don't want to hear that news.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. I will tell you, folks, that I am interested in the Breaking Bad rewatch, a full rewatch, because I have only seen that season one or the run once. It's really good stuff. I cannot wait till we get a chance, and then maybe it'll start in August or September. But that would be an absolutely awesome rewatch that I want to do with you guys. And I know we've been talking about it, and I it's not going to go away. I would love to look at that series again. Big Dog, I don't know. I don't recall what you said, but have you seen Breaking Bad?
No, I need to watch that. That's on my list to
Big Dog,
watch.
well, you may not need to watch it as we do the rewatch. Big
Well,
Dog.
no, you're doing the rewatch of Better Call Saul. That's a whole different series.
Well, they're doing season 6. But I'm saying
Better
that
Call Saul?
after that, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Better Call Saul season 6 rewatch. For Breaking Bad, that one would probably follow after it, and we're gonna go through it all. Whether we do one episode a week or 2, 3, 4 episodes a week, whatever. But there is a lot. Better Call Saul. It is far from the greatest television show, as many people have called it. But let me tell you, folks, you would be hard pressed to find a program that is better. It's not the greatest of all time, but oh my God, almighty, there was never a wasted episode.
No.
And that's a rarity.
But
There was no wasted air on that series.
if you wanted to watch Breaking Bad, Big Dog,
I'd start.
I would rather have him come with fresh eyes as we review.
Yeah.
I would like to get, because I would be but anyway, I'm just saying that'd be not, if you don't mind, if you don't want to,
having
that's
fresh
fine.
eyes,
But having
yes.
come with fresh eyes, saying, "Wow, I didn't expect this again," because But anyway, that's up to you, Big Dog. If you want to watch it beforehand,
no, I
that's up
understand.
to you. I don't, I'm not hiring you.
Well,
so
he won't finish the season by the time we get started.
Yeah, but he'd still be far enough ahead. that
Yeah.
he would know what we're talking. It's up to Big Dog. I'd like to find a few people that could watch this with fresh eyes or not really remember what was going on, because that would be interesting to get some kind of, maybe they'll pick up something that even us seasoned veterans have missed.
Yeah.
Or interpret it different than we have, and don't have all that information floating in our head.
And let me tell you, Breaking Bad, Netflix had a lot to do with that as well. See, I think Jay wanted to do this one as well with us. So that's why we'll just have to agree on a date and time. And FYI, almighty, it looks like we're going to be doing some regular ARC episodes. Not weekly, I don't think. But we're going to be doing something at the very least once a month till the ARC returns. And we may even do a recap of the ARC before it debuts second season. So we have plans there as well. We have a large audience there, and we are eternally grateful for them. It's a rabid audience.
All right. I am going to get going because I need to get.
We're
dinner.
near there. Yeah.
Will you be joining us tomorrow, Scorekeeper?
Possibly. I would like to. Yes. I'm kind of expecting to. I've missed the last years of Comics 101.
Okay.
So maybe I'll be watching the board for you guys.
Okay. Almighty, I will see you in tomorrow evening. You have a good night.
You too.
Scorekeeper, you do the same. Enjoy. Hopefully your pain is suppressing somewhat.
I did get bad news today, folks, that they did the EMG, the electromagnetic-gram, I guess, to measure my nerve. And what happened was, after it happened, they did both sides, my nerves, and it was funny. I was there for it. I told the doctor, because I got nervous. I'm like, well, my left arm is the one, and Big Dog knows this, my left arm is the one that has the paralysis. And I was nervous. I'm like, dude, stand up for yourself. And I told the doctor, I said, sir, you're the doctor, but it's my left arm that's giving me problems. And he said, yeah, I tested it. He said, I just did it. And I was stunned because you can feel it. They put the needles in and they run the electrical charge. See, and when he did it on my left side, I didn't even feel it. So I'm not going to share what they told me, but obviously that was not good news. And that's the problem that I have. It's the compressing discs. Discs 5 and 6 are compressing on the nerves, which cause the paralysis on the left side. So they did get a lot of bad news. And there was more, and I don't want to get in more into it. But
well, I guess it's better than going blind.
Hell yeah.
Or going head on your palm.
Say what? What?
Going hair on your palm. Or going blind. Yeah.
See, that's why Roger doesn't mind too much that it's his left arm, because he's right-handed, so he's okay.
You guys can go.
I didn't.
Big Dog. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Good joke. Remember, we all have to come to play. So Monday Night America on May 22nd. Come to play, guys. Have your jokes ready. Big Dog, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I will catch you guys tomorrow.
And I will see all you guys tomorrow. So have a nice evening. Be safe, everyone. See you,
Have
Jay.
a good one. Have a good one, Big Dog.
See you later, buddy.
So I don't know what you want to do leave or go over the attendance or whatever you put up you put up several things into the chat room, so I didn't know what you wanted to do next.
I appreciate it. I think we could probably finish with that one, folks. What I wanted to talk about very quickly, and I'm going to put the article up, it has to do with the rule changes. And the article will be posted. I think I already shared it with the guys here. I'm going to put it up in the chat room. You know, baseball had some traumatic changes, quite frankly, and it has changed the game. And the article, I'm going to leave it up there for just a few moments as I get to it. But, you know, we have some obvious impact over the first month of the season. And the article is from the Boston Globe. Story was by Ronald Blum. I actually, well, I indirectly know the guy. I think he's a good writer, has good commentary from time to time. Not happy with what he writes because he's from Boston, but I think he has intellectual honesty. And, you know, folks, that's one of my ultimate compliments for someone. He's biased because he's from Boston, but he's intellectually honest. And sometimes that's all you want from a writer. And he's got some good commentary on this. So basically it's this. Batting average for left-handed hitters was up 13 percentage points. The biggest noticeable impact has been games are ending, or when games are ending. The average time of a 9-inning game is, in the first 30 days, 2 hours and 37 minutes, down from 3:05 at the same point last year. Clubhouse staff and players are getting home while their families are still awake. Now, Cleveland's Shane Bieber, the 2020 American League Cy Young Award winner, says it definitely makes life easier. Boosted by new rules designed to speed play and increase action, stolen bases rose 40% to the highest level in nearly quarter century, and scoring increased by 1 runs per game. Pitch clock violations averaged 0.74. And the New York Mets topped the major leagues with 17, while the Dodgers and Tigers tied for the fewest with 4 each. Of the 313 clock violations, 204 were by pitchers, 91 by batters, and 4 by catchers. And, of course, there was the one unmentioned by scorekeeper when he told everyone to wait a moment. In addition, there were 5 penalties for batter timeouts, 8 for pitcher disengagements. That's what she said. And 1 for violation of the shirt restrictions. Theo Epstein, the former Red Sox and Cubs executive who consulted on the innovation, said Monday, the data looks really promising so far. The game has been veering in a direction where the only way to score was for a walk and a homer. And now we're seeing with an increased batting average of balls in play, the increased rate of stolen base attempts, the improved success rate of stolen bases. I'm sorry. And a lot of rallies that start with a single, then you have a stolen base, and then you have another single, and there's a run, and that's more entertaining. Now, not only is the clock involved, but you have the limits on the infield shifts. As the aforementioned pitch clock, larger bases were implemented in an attempt to counter the impact of the analytics aerosification of offense. Folks, I've always contended, you want to kill the length of the games, limit the number of pitchers. That's it. Limit the number of pitchers. But baseball is doing what they're doing. The big league batting average was 248 through 425 games. Lefties hit 247, up from 229 through April last year. And righties are hitting 250, an increase from 234. Folks, statistically, to the average person, you're like, what is that? As Almighty knows, and Jay and everything else, the difference between 250 and 234 league-wide is significant. So runs have increased from 9.2 from 8.1. Stolen base average is 1.4 a game with a 79.2% success rate, up from 1 steal a game and a 75.5 success rate. The average is the highest since 1999, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. And the success rate, the highest on record. Wow. That is crazy. So, the game has sped up. Why were they doing this? Almighty, as you know. Why were they trying to speed this up? Attendance, right?
Well, yeah, because attendance plus, well, they wanted to get the younger people in too because they didn't want to sit there for 3 hours, when that too. But yeah, you're right. Attendance. I thought that would help attendance and plus keep fans involved in as the game went on because anyway, go ahead, Raj.
Not at all, Almighty. I appreciate your comments. So we don't have the full numbers right now, but I can give you this. The 3 top teams in 2023. Obviously, this is through 15, 13, and 16 games for the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Yankees, respectively. We have the total through April as opposed to the total of the entire season of 2022. But I believe we can check for the month. No, I only have for the year. So the 2022 attendance for the Dodgers was averaging through 81 games, 47,671. St. Louis was at 40,994. And the Yankees were at 40,207. For 2022 average. Home 2023 Dodgers 15 games, 49,481, almost 2,000 more a game, approximately 1,800 more. The Cardinals through 13 games, 39,881, a little over 1,100 minus. And the Yankees through 16 games, 39,559, approximately 650 less. So the average so far for the Dodgers in 2023 are 28,212, 31,933 for the Cardinals, and 28,471 for the Yankees. Last year, Dodgers averaged 31,104. Last year was more. The Cardinals, 27,895. Cardinals average this year is higher by, what is that, maybe 4,000? And the Yankees average this year, 28,471. Last year, 30,418. Almost 2,000 less. So we're going to have to check on the numbers. Thank you for that, Almighty, for putting those numbers up there. And the numbers I was looking at. The jury is still out. Everything that Major League Baseball was doing was because attendance was dropping. I don't know if I gave you this other one. And Almighty, if you could put this one up, I'm going to put it up in the chat room.
Okay.
It is from Statistica, and I'm going to put it up as well. Here's the link, and we'll put that one up if you guys want to take a look at it from Statistica. And if you want to show it on screen, I thank you, Almighty, for that.
Okay.
So the numbers speak for themselves. The trend on Major League Baseball since 2006, the numbers are going down. They're going down. Can you click on the...
Which one do you want, Raj?
what is that?
Statistics?
Yeah, it should be that link that I gave you.
That's the one I put up. Is this the one you gave
But
me?
there's a full screen blocking. Something's where you can't see it.
What did I do now?
Oh, you need a Statistica? Okay, you know what? You can forget that. I think
that's
they're
the one-
blocking you.
Oh, well, that's babyish.
It is.
But
Forgive
okay,
me, folks.
maybe I hit the wrong thing because I usually don't. Let me see if I can.
In the meantime, I have it right here,
But
folks.
anyway, there you go. I'm sorry, Raj. I
No.
didn't get that one.
Almighty.
That looks a lot
I
better than
thank
mine.
So,
maybe,
folks,
maybe I hit the wrong one, but I didn't. Maybe I didn't hit the right. Maybe I didn't hit accept all cookies. I hate accepting all cookies, but that's just me. But
Major
anyway.
League Baseball in 2006 was at 76,300,000. In 2007, it was 79.6 million. And then the drop began. 2008, 79, precipitous drop to 73.6, flooded around for a while, went up to almost 75 in 2012, and then again, it made its way down. It hovered there for a little while, and now last year was 64,500,000. That's the number we need to be looking at. If these changes work, those numbers will go up. If they don't, Houston, we have a problem.
Now, do they even try to figure in the cost of tickets for the decrease in attendance?
Well, that's another thing. That is another thing. That's not part of the conversation yet. I don't pretend to be able to tell you. There are smarter people than I that will be discussing it, but this is a tiny kernel of truth that we have right now on some of the numbers. Folks, take a look at them. Baseball has been making all these changes because it's pace of play. That's what the commissioner refers to it as, pace of play.
Right.
So,
oh, now I have it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, they want me to get out of my way.
So that's what
But
we
anyway.
have, folks.
Yeah.
Right now, the numbers to the three top teams, which were the top teams last year, they're down. But it is the first month, and we did have a lot of inclement weather too. And we know that does. That's why I said it's just a kernel of truth. As the summer rolls around, we're going to see these numbers, and we're going to see what's going to happen. I don't know if this is popular with the fans. We're going to see. I am done belly aching about it because I belly ached before the changes. Now the changes are here. What are you going to do, right, Almighty? I'm not going to be here to say, see, I told you so. You can't. I'm not that type of a person. You can't change. It's like, okay, we effed up. Let's go back and fix. No, it's already done. You just start from where you are and move forward. But the track that baseball was going on, I've always said the problem with baseball is the start times, length of the half innings, and the number of pitchers on the roster. You fix that and that alone. Oh, and you enforce all the rules that are on right now. Right? We've talked about that. Major League Baseball has the rules, and it's from the 1960s to how many seconds a pitcher has. And long before they were going to do this pitch clock, I said, enforce the rules you have now. There's like a tumbleweed in the background in a Hollywood movie. Force the rules that we have now. So I appreciate that, Almighty, going over that stuff. What are some of your thoughts on? I have been watching more games this year. So I like that there's more action or a returning to what it was before. But my thing has always been, if you're a Deadpool hitter, life's not fair. You've got to go the other way. So that I had to when I was playing sports. If they're going to stack up everyone on this side, shit, I'm looking to go that way. Come on, man. And Major League Baseball hitters say, well, you don't know what it's like. Well, number one, we don't, because you're the professional. But are you that much of a pussy that you're saying that pitching is better than your hitting? Because, well, you really have no idea how difficult it is. Okay, yes, when you have 10 pitchers in a bullpen that are ready to come in, yeah, to quote some of the characters from the cartoon series, they're going to murderlize you. If you get a guy that can come in every batter that throws 100 miles an hour, you're going to overwhelm the hitting. That's pitching on steroids. Pardon the pun, boys. Limit the number of relievers. 10 pitchers on the squad. Go back to that, and you'll have the balanced game that you had before. But I'm not the commissioner. You had your chance, bastards. When I ran for commissioner, you had your chance. I didn't win.
Thanks for that update. But yeah, I mean, everyone that hit, I mean, I placed my hits, I mean, or whatever. I mean, you hit where they're not, and you have to learn that no matter what level you're at. I mean, just can't. But but you're right, Roger, and start times, and plus here in Cleveland when Bally Sports took over, it was they were you couldn't it was not easily accessed to watch the games on TV either because they didn't support. Not all the cable companies came into agreement, wanted too much money, they were dropped, and Bally only wanted to go through their network, and not everybody did it. So if you can't watch the thing on TV and get behind your team, why are you going to go to a game that gets out of your mind because it's not around to see it? You know, and that's part of the problem too, because before all this Bally stuff and the reach is that you would have your UHF stat channel or whatever channel show you the local games every day. This, you know, and now it got difficult once Bally here in Ohio took over and they bought Sports Time Ohio, and then things kind of changed. But still, with the internet access, you could still follow the team. But I just, you know, pricing has to be an issue too. I don't know how you fix that problem. And actually,
it's very difficult, man.
And plus, the thing is the Guardians or the Indians, they have decreased their seating because they wanted to give their fans more room to wander around and do stuff because they didn't want to have them confined. They thought that might have been the problem. So seating has gone down. They have taken seats out over the years to address that problem. So it makes like a more open atmosphere where, you know, you can do things and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, you think that speed, everyone thought it was the length of games that was keeping fans away. And now it's only 1 month. So we need a lot more data than just a month, as you alluded to, Raj. We may need more than just one season, but one season we'll just get, I mean, unfortunately, it may take 2 or 3 seasons to see what the trend is. But, and like, plus going by the first month, like you said, there's usually bad weather anyway, no matter what year you're talking about, because something always going on because, you know, especially here in the Midwest where I am, you know, spring, like I said, you know, it rains a lot in April, you know, because that's the planting season and all that kind of stuff. But like April showers bring May flowers. So that's the saying here. I don't know what it is in Southern California.
Yes, sir.
A drought April brings a drought May. I don't know, but I'm just kidding, kind of. So
kind of. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm just kidding. Kind of. I heard that shit.
But there could be a lot of factors that no one even knows about. Who knows? Maybe there's not that. Who knows what do they know the demographics at all? Or are the fans just dying off and not enough younger ones are coming in? Maybe it's the population decrease too. I just don't know how many of these statistics that they have available to them to analyze. I mean, in the day and age of analytics, and everybody has an average of, you know, this batter has a batting average of 200 when he takes a dump before the game, and a batting average of 300 if he doesn't take a dump before the game. So I don't know. Do they have you know anything about demographic scorekeeper, or is that just not available yet? Overall.
Though they do have them. Then I alluded to that, and thank you for that. I alluded to that earlier when I said there are smarter people out there, and those stories and reports are out there. I just didn't have a chance to look through them.
Well, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. I just didn't know if you do anything.
They're out there.
Yeah, but So I don't know. I mean, it's been, but like you said, these rules have been in place, and if not going to even use the ones that they have in place, why make new ones? I mean, it just doesn't. But it's good to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with more action in the game. I can see that, but I don't know. I mean, 1 month we can't hit the panic button yet, but hopefully things will change. Maybe, excuse me, as the summer. I don't know how many kids go to the baseball game anymore. I mean, that used to be the thing in the summer. You either went to the game, you snuck into the game, but I don't know how much of that is going on with teenagers or whatever trying to get to a baseball game anymore. That used to be a thing back in the day where children actually went to games. But it's hard to do when the game starts at 7 instead of 1 o'clock in the afternoon too. I mean, you don't want to be there at your friends don't want you out there after dark in a big city now, especially nowadays. And kids aren't going to go by themselves anyway because that's not even safe anyway. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. So now you're thinking about taking a whole family. You've got to wait for your mom or your parents or guardians to take you to the game and all this stuff. It's not like it used, and some of these people, they work all day and they don't feel like going to a ball game, during the week and weekends. I don't know. There's probably a lot of factors because there's a lot more to do now. A lot, that's, I don't know. I don't know, Raj. I'm stumbling and bumbling, but
I don't believe you are almighty. I appreciate the humility that you're expressing right now, but dude, I get that and I hear that. And one of the things that you mentioned earlier, and I was going to jump in on, was the price of the game. Folks, I've been belly aching about it for a while, and Big Dog and I have. Folks, we're workaday Joes, and we were able to go much and often because of the prices of the game. We can't do that anymore. And, we're not recipients that are in need of assistance. And please, folks, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be insulting when I say that, but I'm saying that we have jobs, we earn money, and we're now finding it difficult to attend games on a regular basis. And not boo for me, but boo for kids that make up this game's future. How many times did you go to a game and see the 6th or 7th inning and the parent dying because their kid was falling asleep right next to them? And they're looking at the clock, looking at the scoreboard, looking at the clock, and it didn't matter the demographics. This just could have been a well-to-do individual looking at the clock, looking at that. And then you have a minority family looking at the clock, looking at things because they have to leave. They have to go to school or have to go to work. That is a generational problem. That everything that you did right now, Mr. Commissioner, is not going to change that. You have to go back to what the game was. And the game has always had luxury seats, premium seats, box seats, and view seats. And when you go to San Francisco and you're on the 3rd level and you're paying $200 a ticket, your audience is gone. The only ones that can go are adults. They can't take their kids. So Major League Baseball, you are my sport. I love you. And I thank you for the love that you have given me and my family. I've taken my family many times, but it's becoming more difficult to take them now because of the inherent prices. Folks, I gave a shout out to Seattle, a shout out to San Diego, and it irks me that the Dodgers and the Angels cannot do this. Hashtag cheap mother effers. Tell you why. And I don't know how it is over in Cleveland, and Almighty can tell me about this, but folks, the simple act of paying for your food, and at Seattle and San Diego, the minute you the minute you get your food, they give you an empty cup, and you look to your left, and there's a fountain station right there. Unlimited refills. Does it matter what it costs at that point? They're now telling you this is the price, but guess what? You get a refill as much as you want. And they're not even watching the fountain stations. Come on, man. What does that tell you? Okay. I bought drinks for everyone in my party, and I did it, and I loved it. But I was able to go back, and I wasn't nailed for $10, $12, $15, or whatever it was. Thank you, Seattle. Thank you, San Diego, for doing that for the fans. It's such a small, tiny thing. And that's just the drinks. That means I'm not sure how it is in Cleveland. Almighty.
Well, I haven't been to a game in a while.
Yeah.
For quite a few years. And I know that they have the fountain for the beers where you get you give you a cup and you go up to a fountain and grab a beer. But I don't know what the initial cost is. And I don't know if you have to pay every time, but but yeah, they'd be surprised what just like free pop would do for a fan if they get what. I mean, they don't understand. I mean, it may be it's a small gesture, but still, some are like, oh my gosh, something's actually not. We don't got to pay $10 every time we get a 12-ounce glass of pop or soda that you call it in your neck of the woods. But those things go a long way, and but you still get
for me.
But still, they make it up when you buy that hot dog and stuff. But that's another different story.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, if it costs you $200 to walk in, like you're saying, and then another $100 for snacks and whatever, maybe that's over an exaggeration too. But you're still talking that feeding the whole family, not just a ticket. They're going to want hot dogs and whatever. So you probably are talking about another 100 or so to feed a family of three or four, because those things. So it adds up, and who can spend. I mean, so you're saying a family of four at $200, that's $800 there. It's going to cost you $1,000 to go to enjoy an evening of baseball if you get those seats that you were talking about, if my math is right.
It was distressing, pal. And let me tell you, very quickly, I want to give a shout out to Gridiron Girl. Thanks, young lady. She can tell us exactly what it is. Oh, and Richard Sullivan. Thanks for the like as well. As well as Jay
asshole?
Simmons,
Gosh,
Thomas Whitney, Elizabeth Olivia Cooper, and Piotr Gama, someone like that. So we're up to 6, folks. Thank you. Look, my daughter and I went to San Francisco 2 years ago, and I'm glad we got the tickets that we did, but I got banged for $200 a seat. They were actually damn good seats, and we were seated. You guys have seen them on my Facebook page. We were in the left field section. It was nice where we were, but we were in, I guess, what you would call the club section. And we saw the weather report that it was going to be a cool day. Now, San Francisco did us wrong. It got into the 80s, and we were dressed for 50, 60-degree weather, so it got hot. But since we were in the club section, we took, 10 steps up, and we were in the club section. AC. Wow. It was hot, and we stayed up there. But do you know what really irked me about San Francisco? I have my San Diego souvenir cup. I have my Seattle Mariners souvenir cup. San Francisco, they were selling the Coke sodas for $8 for those plastic ones. The 12 or 16 ounce. $8. Now, I don't remember if it was Seattle or San Diego, but check this out. The Padre dog was $10 and the drink was $8. Or it was vice versa, 10 and 8. And Seattle was the exact opposite. If the Padre dog was $8 and the drink was 10, over there the dog was 10 and the drink was 8. And my daughter and I were just blown away by that. But again, it was unlimited drinks. And I got to tell you, folks, Seattle, when you walk the main concourse of Seattle, it is, oh man, you should not buy from the first place you see, because there are the variety of food at San Diego was absolutely amazing. Almighty, I am jealous. Seattle is a damn nice stadium. The way they treat their fans, the offerings of food. Oh man, it is almost to die for. And they have gourmet food, and they have hot dogs and peanuts, baby. It still is what you expect it to be, but they had everything. Yeah, there it is. Cost for alcohol is ridiculous at Dodger Stadium. So, folks, looking at what we did when we went to San Francisco, my daughter and I, we paid about $440 for 2 tickets. And there's no parking, obviously, but we paid another $50 to $60 in food. $500 for 2 people. Because we're at the stadium, we're probably never going to come back. So you want to try, you're going to be there. That's the point of going to the different stadiums, is trying out the food.
Yeah.
And Dodgers, another reason why I don't want to go back to Dodger Stadium is you got rid of the Dodger dog. That was a staple. The Dodger dog was to die for, and now it's gone. What they're serving now, it's disappointing.
Well,
that is my opinion.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Well, bleacher seats at are $24, and you can get the dugout seats at $92 in Cleveland. And then, but we're a whole different market. And I'm not, and I haven't been there. I bet when you go to a game, you expect to pay outrageous prices anyway. If you don't expect that, I don't know what you're going to be shocked, but you're going to be paying out the butt. I mean, you're going to be paying. That's how they make their money. I mean, you always know what you're going to. You always know. It's like the same thing when you walk into a convenience store. You're not going to be paying anywhere for convenience. You're going to be paying for convenience out the butt. You know what to expect. You're going to be paying 3 times more than you would at a regular grocery store or whatever. But you expect it. You should expect it. But where was I going? Oh, but and you can't. I guess I want to add real quick. You can't even blame the record, a team's record on it too, because look at the Rays, who have the best record, and they're still way down there in attendance. And so you really sometimes, when the Rays have always had an attendance problem anyway, even when they were winning beforehand. People had other things to do than go to a baseball game in Florida, I suppose, or they didn't have enough handicap seating for all the retirees. I don't know. So it's not even a record thing. And sometimes it does catch on and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, in the 90s, you couldn't find a ticket to go to a game for the Indians when they were winning for the first time in 40 years. I mean, it was unheard of. And that's why, but anyway, so a record's not even a factor in this, because and if, like the Yankees and the Dodgers, if you're used to winning, maybe that attendance goes down because we've been here, done that. There's no, maybe there's no excitement until the playoffs when everybody, okay, now we're in the playoffs and let's go now because it's the big time, it's ready to go. I don't know how that works, but still, yeah. So maybe attendance will increase for the Rays if they can keep it going. I know Big Dog bitch slapped me the other day when he said, "Wait till September." So, okay, but I have to take my hits.
One of my lines, brother.
Yeah, but I have to take my hits while I can. I mean, I can't wait till September. I'll be just thinking, Yankees are going back. God damn it! But so it's just, so we don't know. Unless we can get all the raw data and go over it, which I would welcome. I'd like to go through binders of data to see what the fuck's going on. But, I don't know. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe some of this stuff's a shot in the dark as far as we know. This could all be politics, what baseball's doing right now, hoping that maybe they listen to the wrong Twitter feed or the wrong Facebook pages. I mean, look at all these companies because Disney and Marvel do their marketing through Twitter and Facebook, and that's why some of their movies bomb. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. I guess if because it's different when you're sitting at home. Because if you 3 hour game, well, okay, I'll just go and you can always get up at any time and do something because you can still hear the game. But when you're stuck there in the stadium, and maybe that's what the Guardians were thinking when they took out seats. Like, okay, you can get up and move around. You're not stuck in that seat for 9 innings. Well, I guess I'd feel like 9 hours at times, but for 9 innings, you can get up and walk around and do other things inside the stadium. Like I don't know, games and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Now,
I
I'm not
don't. But
sure.
go ahead. I'm sorry, Raj.
No, I think I cut off your train of thought. I thought you were done.
What train of thought? You're my derail trainer. I think I had my train of thought derailed as bad as Suffolk Northern.
No.
But
Folks, it's just too expensive. I'm sorry. It just is. I'm going to go, but let me tell you, the bargain are the minor league teams right now, but I can't even go. I was going to try to go this week, but physically I just cannot. And it's just a shame. I just can't. I'm missing the games right now, but I'm going to more minor league teams because it's just better, bigger bang for the buck. And let me tell you, they have dollar nights, $2 nights. I mean, it's not the best food, but you know what, folks? And forgive me, and I think Almighty would agree with me on this one. There is nothing like being at the event and having your drink, your dog, and some peanuts or an order of nachos. There is just something therapeutic. There's something beautiful being out there with the fans. It's just fun knowing that you're probably going to see something that no one else is going to see. And it's just exciting. And that's what baseball is. And it's just getting so expensive that it's, yeah.
let me throw in one more thing here. What about the length of the season? Because right now it's only April, 1 month, but there's still 5 months to go.
Yeah, it's 162 games.
So the thing is that when we had that shortened COVID year,
yeah.
I loved it because teams couldn't fuck around for 3 months. They had to get off their ass and go. They didn't have 3 months to whatever, we got time. And of course, so I say I loved it, but I liked it because the teams had to go and they just didn't have time to meander around until July or until the All-Star break. But I don't know how you felt about it. Not that short, but could that be part of it too? I mean, I know that one time Major League Baseball did offer to shorten the seasons and the players said no, which is kind of a reverse, an oxymoron, or not an oxymoron, no, that's the wrong word, a reverse of thinking, because you think the players would want to shorten the season and the owners say no. So that was weird. But I mean, now you don't have all the numbers. So in your opinion, is that a problem or no?
Unfortunately, I believe it will be a problem moving forward because of the audience. We talked about it earlier. Baseball is losing that core audience. Look, I have a loyal puppy. That's my youngest. I've caught her watching because we have MLB TV and we're able to watch. We have cable, so we get the Dodgers, Angels. And with MLB TV, we get any game we want. And she'll come over and tell me, hey, did you see this? Did you see that? And I'm like, wow, I am thrilled. Now, my oldest will never tell me that. But if I say, let's go to a game, no, I ask, do you want to go to a game? No. We're going to a game. Okay. So it's funny. But she goes. She doesn't hem and haw. She just doesn't want to go anywhere. But if I say go to a baseball game and you're going, she's like, okay, let's go. And my oldest daughter, she's just fine with popcorn or, the sticky one. I forget what it's called, but the cotton candy, I guess, whatever it is. And they love
Cotton
that.
candy?
Cotton candy, yeah.
I was muted. And after I said it, you go, I thought you might have read my lips. He said, I guess. So I didn't. But anyway.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. But
Thank
anyway,
you, yeah. So I'm trying to still give them the experience. And folks, let me tell you, I'm lucky. I have 3 minor league teams around us: the Quakes, the 66ers, and the Storm. And as I tell everyone, look, when Junior from up north, oh my God, oh my Speedy, when Speedy came to visit us, geez, when Speedy came to visit us, we took him to a 66er game. And let me tell you, I told him, dude, you're going to see raw talent. And you do. You see these kids, incredible plays that they make. And you're like, wow. And then you see a ground ball to shortstop, doink. And they, it's like, oh my God, come on. Grandma could have made that play. Yes, Grandma could have made that play. But Grandma could not have made the prior play. So it is raw talent, and the minor leagues, you see raw athletic talent. And that's some real exciting stuff, where you see these kids killing themselves because they want to get promoted. And sometimes in its raw talent, minor league games are still fun. So I don't know. I'm hoping to take Gridiron Girl and Jay, since they're local, over with me. But whenever I talk about going to a minor league game, Gridiron Girl's like, no. No, that's minor league. I'm like, all right, bourgeois. I think I lost Gridiron Girl. Oh, not true. Which part? You won't go to the Angels one, and you won't go to the Padres one. So I guess you will go to the Rancho team only, because that's the minor league Dodger team. So, but I asked her if she wanted to go, and I think I was going to go to an Angel one, and she said no. I'm like, all right, fine. So it's all good. But now that I really want to go, I can't go. Damn, 'cause I'm hurting right now. So we'll see.
well, okay. I have nothing to add to that. I mean, I think we.
Do you
At least
have any
I'm
minor
on-
league teams around you?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, you
I
do.
mean, we got to remember the Indians have over the years have located all their minor league teams up here in Northeast Ohio. They're not spread out like they used to be. So the AAA is in Columbus. We got AA in Akron, and we got a single A in Chillicothe, I believe.
Chillicothe. I told you I was in Chillicothe in '91, right?
I think that's it. I'm not sure if that's a.
Wow.
But like I said, they're all here, and we don't have like them spread out all in other states like we used to, or other teams. Yeah, but we just put them all in one location. That way, it doesn't cost that much to move these players around. You know, you can get someone from AAA to Cleveland and drive in about 4 hours, or you can take a short flight from from Columbus to Cleveland in 45 minutes or less. I mean, it doesn't. But anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, I could probably go to a minor league game, up in Akron in no time. I think they're still called the Rubber Ducks. I don't know.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Gridiron Girl, I respect and admire that you are a true blue Dodgers fan. But this is where the line is drawn between you and I. I'm a baseball fan. I will watch a non-Dodger, a non-Angel, or a non-Yankee game. I love baseball. So, es el rey de los deportes. Even in the Latin world, you know what that means, right? It is the king of all sports. And soccer is everything in the Latin world. Well, actually, soccer is everything around the world. But even in the Latin world, they say that baseball is the king of all sports. So, there you go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Almighty.
Oh, I was just going to say I watched the Dodgers and the Cardinals the other day. It was on ESPN Plus. So
there you go. Yes, I love watching Sunday night baseball. I've always watched Sunday night baseball, and I'm trying to get back to doing that again. It's just sometimes it's very difficult because of the compressing discs just being. I mean, even now, folks, it's very painful, but It's wonderful having a conversation with my compatriots. It's like having a phone call. So
Well, when back in the 80s, 90s, when cable was going on, you could watch the Braves, the Cubs, the Mets,
yeah,
and a few others because of
right.
because of all the super stations that were going on at the time, and plus all these cut TV stations that went from being local to cable. So I could watch four markets at any given time, and plus you knew at that time the Cubs were going to be playing during the day anyway if they're at home.
Yeah.
So you could watch a day game on the I can't remember the name of the Chicago station, but you would go from there.
WGN.
Yeah, and then you could in the evening you could watch Indians or the Braves or whoever if there's an off day. And then I know the Mets played on that horror station WOR. I think that's what the
Oh, my
abbreviation.
goodness, that's right, huh?
So
Yeah.
you could yeah, but but now that everything's even though it's not like it used to be. I guess it could, in a way, you have more access. In a way, you don't nowadays. How much does that Major League Baseball cost you this year, Rod? If you don't mind me asking on air.
Not at all. I don't recall right now. And the one thing I like about it is that it's just a one time. I'll tell you right now, I'm logging in. I think it cost me $139. Yeah, $139.99. So for me, folks, I get every team everywhere except for the Dodgers and Angels because they're the home team right here. And I have cable, so I get the Dodgers and Angels here. So I actually have access to all. I'm one of the few people because there's a few people 2 miles over that don't have Spectrum, so they don't have access to Dodgers. There are many parts of Los Angeles that cannot see Dodger games.
But do you get to watch their games on the road?
Yeah,
Dodgers?
I believe so. Yes,
But
yes.
like you just can't. But you have the blackout when they're
When
home.
they're
then.
home, yes.
Yeah, I got you.
But I really do enjoy because, folks, I get every out of market game. That is unreal for $140. That's crazy. I guess now it's $149, but they have it on sale for $139 right now. But here's the thing, folks, that I've talked about on MLB TV. Every day there's a free game. You just have to have an account, and every day there is a free game. That is cool. And ladies and gentlemen, I do have a tiny bit of breaking news right now. This is rather sad, but it looks like it's going to come to pass. Breaking news, the Hollywood writers, as you know, a 97.5% or 97.8% voted for a strike. It looks like it's going to happen. Hollywood writers are opposed to strike. This is from the Los Angeles Times. A festering dispute over how writers are compensated in the streaming era came to a head Monday night as leaders of the Writers Guild of America called on their members to stage Hollywood's first strike in 15 years. Damn. So as of it's midnight. So yeah, I think it's done. The Writers Guild of America. There it is. I love it, folks. I do love Major League Baseball TV. And I love the recap, the condensed games, but being able to turn it on and watch whatever. That's why, folks. And it's free the first week of the season. That's why it's like, come on, you should be watching baseball the first week. On opening day, the first game, because I'm on the Pacific Coast, first game is at 10 a.m. Then 1, then 4, and then 7. Dude, that is awesome, man. All day you get baseball. So I'm here just watching baseball all day. It's kind of fun. So it's cool. It's neat. Every opening day, I'm here at home. So, folks, very quickly, we are now, and it's 9:04 p.m. Pacific time. We're into our 4th hour here on The Professionals. This is probably one of the longest professionals we've ever had, but this is what we do. I did tell everyone, unfortunately, due to the fact that we have a lot of new hosts, a lot of new programming that's going to be moving back in from the radio side to the streaming side, the professionals on Monday night may be moving to Wednesday evening. So we ask you to bear with us. As of right now, we're on the first Monday of every month, but right now we're in June. We're probably going to be June 7th. I'm leaning to it. It's 65, 70% a done deal that the professionals will be moving to the first Wednesday of the month. Okay. So, sorry, folks. It just is. So we'll see. All right. Beyond that, I don't know. Almighty, we actually, this is what the professionals is, buddy. We have 4 or 5 topics that we talk it through, which is really good stuff. This was a good program. Forgive me for saying so.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got to a lot of subject. I mean, not a lot,
We
but
did.
we really talked, and we even got in some meandering too.
Oh, yeah, that's who we are. So, folks,
Once again, have you met us?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I love that line. I've used that one forever. So, like I said, folks, it looks like on the calendar we have several things. Check out ndbmedia.net where we have all of our stuff going. But as far as the calendar, folks, Monday Night America on the 22nd, Joke Night returns, rated maggot. So all of you know what that means. So Joke Night will be back. It'll be rated maggot. Maggot is not rated G. So it is. Comics 101 will be on tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, where Almighty is, and I'll probably be joining the gentleman. I'm looking forward to Comics 101.
Well, if you do, I look forward to it. If not, well, I'll cry into my soda, pop, and then go from there.
You're funny. So I know Big Dog will be there. You will, and I look forward to joining as well. So we'll see. And we're good. Anything else that you want to get to, young man?
No, I went over I think I went over about everything I wanted to, and I had some things up, and we went through them.
Yeah, we did. Folks, check out Major League Baseball TV. As I said, every day there is a free game. And it's cool because that's awesome. Yeah, it's every day you can watch one game free. That's just part of it. You just got to sign up and be a member. That's all. All right. And then in April, that's when they have their specials. And right now they still have it. It's $139.99 right now. So it's good. And this is my 3rd year now that I've had Major League Baseball TV. And like I said, my daughter's watching it. So it's kind of cool. I'm lucky right there. All right. Big Dog was on with us. I thank him. Dream was on with us. I thank him. And Almighty, I got to tell you, buddy, ever since you've been back, man, I appreciate having you on. I look forward to having you on. You are an important part of this. I'm eternally grateful. And I thank you. Even though you pissed me off real good on Saturday, I do have to say it was very well delivered. It was damn funny. I couldn't have done it myself. But yeah, I was pissed off.
What did I do?
Oh, you didn't see that I had to leave all of a sudden even earlier than I said? When I was trying not to use the swear word, and you just did it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Well, the timing was there.
God.
I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. I'm sorry.
It was delivered well. That's why I didn't say a word. But if you look just before I left, scorekeeper was furious.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Did I send you a note? Did I tell you anything? No. It was so flawlessly delivered. I was like, don't be a dick. I was thinking to myself, but I was like, shit, I gotta go. I was telling anyone I had to leave in about 15 minutes. I was like, man, fuck that. I'm out now. And Big Dog started talking. I was like, excuse me? And I finished my thought. I said, goodbye. And I left.
Well, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you let me come on board and talk a little bit. That's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
It's been a good evening too. I mean, we really, had a show. It was awesome. actually, we're on, I guess, like you said, starting our fourth hour. And usually we get at least inside the third and then we're done. But, it's cool.
Thank you, Gridiron Girl. Yes, I do. I like this program. This was fun. We did go over a lot, and this was good. And the commentary by everyone. It's like Almighty knows, Big Dog knows. It's not that they don't come to play on Saturday. It's just they know that we're going to talk through the topic on Saturday and then move on to the next story. So we cover the stories. Here we hit 3 or 4 topics, and we spend a lot of time on them.
Yeah, we do. And we don't solve anything, but we get it out in the open.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And sometimes we don't, and sometimes we do solve it, but no one listens to us.
Oh, they are. They just don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, they know that we're right. They just, we don't have that political push yet. We don't have the lobbyists yet to get our viewpoint across to the right people.
Do you have the bell? I know it's too late, but do you have the bell?
Yeah, I do. I mean, yeah, right here.
Come
Which
on.
one do you want?
Oh, just bang it out for me, baby.
All right. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and tap the ass of the notification bell, because usually sometimes this show does get sporadic and you have to know when we're here. But if everything goes as planned, as Roger says, once a month, maybe I don't know when, but either Monday or Wednesday, once a month, you will get the professionals and you will be the smarter for it. Okay, maybe I'm making too much. Maybe that's too much of a promise to make, but we can try.
I'm in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a perfect transition. We're good. Again, Jay, Gridiron Girl. We also have several guests early on, and I do apologize. Thanos Heisenberg, and there was another comment in there, but I do want to thank everyone who's watching us in the archive. Appreciate the likes. We need the follows, folks. We do. If we can get to 100 on all of the channels, we get to be devious. But Comics 101 on tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
That's right.
Check out ndbmedia.net. There's a lot on there. Thank you, and stay tuned for the announcements. A lot of the radio people are moving over to the streaming side. And that's it. On behalf of Almighty, I'm the scorekeeper. We'll see you guys on the other side. Peace!
Good day.